way you chase your dreams. Open up your heart to me. Let me in, let me
TV ASL Season 8 Expansion.
Hello everyone, welcome to ASL Season 8. The round of 24 feels like it has just started and we are already approaching our 5th group today. And before we actually get into the match today, we're going to have a short interview with the 4 players who will be battling it out today. And the 4 players are Stork, Sharp, Hyuk, and Calm. Hello. Hello.
자, 조기석 선수 안녕하세요.
And Sharp,
아니 와일드카드전에서
you have just slipped barely in the wild card and you had to go through the preliminaries again. And now you're waiting for your game today. With what kind of mindset did you come today? Well, I'm really nervous. I'm really happy at the same time. And here I'm today. I'm here to have some fun.
만나볼 선수는요, 정말 오랜만에도 개인
And the next player we are meeting is
박재욱
Hyuk,
선수와 인사
and it's been a long
나눠보겠습니다.
time
부산
since we last saw you.
예선에서 강력한 진출 후보였던
And
김명훈
you
선수를
did
꺾으면서
beat
이번
Queen,
시즌
a strong favorite in the
A를
Busan
되셨습니다.
qualifiers,
소감이 어떠세요,
and you're
박재욱
here
선수?
now. How do you feel?
일단 첫 진출이라서
Well, it's my first time qualifying,
엄청 높은 곳을 간다기보다
so you know,
약간
I'm not really that
16강
greedy to go further into the game, but I just want to make it to the round of 16.
차근차근 올라가겠다는 마음으로 좀 오신 것 같은데요.
Alright.
또 다음으로 만나볼 선수는요. 가장의
And the next
힘을
player
제대로 또 보여주고
is
있는
actually a head
선수죠.
of the family.
돌아온 총사령관의
He is
선수를
Stork.
뽐내고 있는 송병구 선수입니다. 안녕하세요.
Hello.
자, 요즘 대회나 또
In
온라인에서
recent
정말
online
좋은 모습을
tournaments
보여주고
and LANs, you
계신데
have been showing
오늘
good
대진은
performance.
어떠세요? 좀 마음에 드세요?
And do you like the racial distribution today?
조라고 생각을 하거든요.
Well, I think this is a group of
네,
death actually.
또 제가 저그가 두 명이 있기 때문에
There are
저한테는
two
더
Zergs,
힘든 조라고
so I think it's
느껴지고
really unfortunate for
좋은
me,
결과가 있기를
but I
바라면서
do hope to
왔습니다.
get a good
자,
result
또
today.
송병구 선수와 여러 번 경기를 치렀던 김윤환 선수와
And
좀
here we
인사를
are with
나눠볼까요?
here we are
안녕하세요.
with Calm, who played
네,
with
지난
Stork
시즌
many
정말
times.
여러 명언들을 많이
Last season,
남기셨잖아요.
you left a lot of bold statements saying that you have a special build that can flabbergast the world, and you also said that use map is a part of StarCraft.
기대해도 좋을까요?
This season, can we have lots of hope on you?
틈틈이 랜크로 수많은 변수를 연습해놨기
Well, I
때문에
did
네.
prepare myself with the use
괜찮을
maps,
것 같아요. 예.
so I think I'm
왠지
fine.
여기 계신 상당수의 관람객분들도
Today, a lot of
그걸
the audience
기대하고
here
또 오늘
are looking forward to your
이렇게 함께해
performance
주시지 않나 하는
today.
생각이 드는데 자 그럼 본격적으로
Alright, then
팬분들이
we're gonna
전해주신
ask you
질문을
guys
좀
the questions from
드려보겠습니다.
the
먼저
fans.
조기석 선수.
Okay, first one
자,
is a question
6월에
for
있었던
Sharp.
와일드카드전에서 김윤환
In the
선수가
wildcard in
이경민 선수에게
June,
패배하면서 시드를 얻지
You lost
못하셨는데
to
오늘
Horangi and Calm
수전
and ended up
잘
not getting a
준비해
seed. So did you prepare well for today's
저를 못
revenge
만날 것
match?
같아요, 은환이 형은.
You know, I don't think
아무래도
Calm's gonna meet me
앞에
today.
이제 병구 형이 있기 때문에
Since he's
저랑
gotta go through
승자전에서
Stork,
병구 형이랑 맞붙어서
You know, so I don't
이제
think he's
승자가
gonna end up
올라가기
playing
때문에
against me.
저랑 못 만나고 아마 재혁이 형한테 지지 않을까.
So he will lose to Hyuk. I'm
지금
guessing
이
that.
조기석 선수의 발언이 조금 불편하다는 듯이 어깨를 좀
You know, I
만지고
don't
계신데
think Calm is all
김윤환
happy
선수에게
about
다시
that.
한번 좀 패배를 안겨줘야 하지 않을까요?
Calm, don't you need to grant
기석이는
him another
그냥 뮤탈
loss?
띄우면 끝나요.
You know, if I just go mutas,
아,
that's
뮤탈선에서
pretty much
정리가
it.
되나요? 아, 알겠습니다. 자,
Alright.
조기석 선수 다음 질문인데요.
Okay, next question for
아,
Sharp.
이거 약간 뼈 아픈 질문이네요.
Okay, this one might hurt a
각오가
little.
되셨나요?
아,
Are you ready? Yes, I'm ready.
24강 2조에 출전하는
Right, you're the
선수들
only
중
single player in the round of
유일하게
24.
솔로이신데요.
So, do you have anything that might be appealing to female StarCraft fans?
달라고 본인의 매력 뭐라고 생각하세요?
What do you think is the appealing thing about you?
저의 매력은
Well, my attractive point
그냥 진지함인 것 같고요.
is my
네.
seriousness,
일단은 요즘에 또
and recently
핫하거든요. 이제 또
I'm
최근에 또
kind of like a hot player.
춤 좋아한다고 좋은 이제 유소나님이
You know,
네.
또 이제 저를 또 춤이 또 매력 있다고
I like
하시더라고요.
dancing, and then some people find my dancing very
하신
attractive.
건가요?
유소나님이 저를 또 언급을
And
하셔가지고
BJ Yusona has
네.
also mentioned that.
약간 마음을
So
전달하는
this
그런
is
건
actually
아닌데,
an evidence.
근데 그냥 이제 저도 좋은 사람 만날 것 같습니다.
So I think I'm gonna find
약간
myself a good,
조기석
nice
선수가 본인의
girlfriend as well.
매력을 어필하는데 살짝 좀 주춤했는데 다른 선수들이 보는 또 조기석 선수만의 매력이 있을 것 같아요. 김윤환
Okay,
선수,
what do the
조기석
other
선수의
players
매력
think about
뭘까요?
Sharp?
기석이는 딱 하나 있잖아요.
Oh, Sharp does have one
조건이지.
attractive point.
춤
It's-
춰야 됩니다. 제가 봤을
It's
때는.
sharpism, which means sharp.
또
and
높은 스테이지에
dancing.
올라가면 또 세레머니로 조기석 선수가 또 춤을
You know,
보여줄
Sharp
수도
tend
있는
to
거죠.
dance
그렇죠?
whenever he goes through like the important stages of the qualifiers.
알겠습니다. 자 그러면 다음 질문인데요.
Alright, next one is a question for Hyuk.
자 박재혁 선수와도 좀 얘기를 나눠보겠습니다. 현역 시절 이후 정말
Hyuk,
오랜만에
you
개인
have
무대에
made it to
올라왔는데
a land
긴장이 많이
stage
되는지
after a long
궁금하신가
time.
봐요.
How nervous are you today?
원래 긴장을 좀 많이 하는 편이라서
Well, I tend to get nervous
긴장을
quite a
하긴
lot,
하는데 뭐 다른 친구들도 다 긴장을
but
하기
I'm pretty
때문에
sure all the players here are too
5대5를
nervous too.
마인드로
So,
맞습니다.
you know,
열심히
I'm
합니다.
not feeling that.
또 송병구 선수
worried.
같은 경우에는 워낙 경험이 많으니까
And Stork,
그래서
you on the other
개인 리그에
hand
또 ASL
have
첫
plenty of
출전하는
experience.
박재혁 선수의 긴장을 좀 풀어줄 수 있는
And
방법
do you have
뭐가
any
있을까요?
advice
제가요,
for
상대인데?
Hyuk today?
네. 근데 근데-
He's my
그래도
opponent,
좀
네.
품어주는 마음으로.
but
저도 긴장하고요.
well, I'm
아,
nervous
그래요?
as well,
긴장하고
so
계세요?
you know, I'm not in the
예,
position to
진짜
worry about anyone else.
아까 좀 일찍 왔는데
Well, I did come
많은
early
분들이
today.
온 걸 보니까 좀 긴장이 되고 또 여기 경기장이 좀 추워가지고
And today
또
it's kind of chilly here, so
송병구
that
선수의 말을
adds to the
들으면 박재혁
nervousness.
선수가 더 긴장을 할 것 같은데 박재혁 선수의 긴장을 풀어주기 위해서 또 특별한 분이
And in
현장에
order
오셨다고
to get some
들었습니다.
nervousness
최근
off from
BJ
Sharp,
이란님과 또 우결 콘텐츠로 한창 또 많은 분들의
and this
화제가 되고
one is a
있는데
question for Hyuk.
이란님에게 좀 하고 싶은
Hyuk, you
말이
have been
있을까요?
streaming with BJ Ira these days, and she's here today. Do you have anything to say to her?
먼길 응원 와줘가지고 너무
Well,
고맙고
she's come a long way, so I'm
일단
really
제가
thankful
좀
to her.
이겨야지 좀 명분도 쓰고 그러기
So I
때문에
think I'm gonna have to
예,
win today
뭐
to give her a good
고맙게 생각하고
experience.
있습니다. 예, 개인적으로. 예.
또 다들 또 응원해주는 분들이 계시잖아요.
And all the players here, they have their girlfriend
어떠세요?
rooting for them. Do you have anything to say to them? You know, I hope my girlfriend stops coming here. I hope she can just stay home.
김민아 선수가 패배하면 또 따끔하게 혼도 내시는 것 같더라고요.
You know, whenever you get eliminated, it feels like your girlfriend scolds you.
분수는 오지게 잘.
She's really bad, but she really tells me off whenever I
힘을
lose.
얻지 않을까 하는 생각이 듭니다. 자, 송병구 선수에게
Alright,
남겨진
next one is a
질문인데요.
question for Stork.
김민환 선수와 멸망전에서도
You were in the
같은
same
팀으로
team with
출전하기도
Calm in the
했었고,
BJ Destruction
또 온라인에서
match,
맞붙을
and you
때도
have
여러
played
재밌는
against each other
에피소드들이
quite a lot in
만들어지는
online
대진으로
games.
알고 있는데 송병구에게
So,
김민환이란?
to Stork, what kind of a player is Calm?
일단 이 조에서 가장
Well,
빡센 상대라고
He's
생각을
probably
하고
the
있고
hardest player to play against in this group.
하필은 또 첫 경기에 만난 게
And you know,
뭔가
playing against him the first
뗄래야 뗄 수
match,
없는 인연인 것 같아요.
I
그래서
think
오늘은
it's
이 인연을
I think we are
끝까지
destined to be
됐으면
together.
제가 저 밑으로 이제 다음 시즌 예선 부산까지 또 갈 수 있도록 저
But this time,
대사까지 보내도록
I'm just
하겠습니다.
gonna push him down.
김민환 선수 고개를 끄덕끄덕하고 계신데
And Calm is just
갚아줄
nodding
때도
his head.
있잖아요.
갚아줄 거요?
네,
병구 형한테요?
네.
And you have something
뭐가
to revenge.
패배를 안겼던 선수니까
against
송병구
Stork, right?
선수가
제가 졌어요?
예선.
아 예선.
Well, in the quali-
패배를 금방
아.
잊어버리시나 봐요. 역시
진 거는 기억이 안
강자는
in the
다르네요.
qualifiers,
그거는 기억이 안 나서.
Yes, I
어차피
did lose
그
to Stork.
예선은 예선이고 본선 경기에서
But in the main
누가 이기냐,
stage,
그것만 사람들은 기억하기 때문에.
in the main stage is all that matters. And today I'm going to show him my class.
강적이라고 송병구 선수가 얘기를 했기 때문에 이 두 선수의 매치 굉장히 기대가
So we'll look
되고요.
forward to their
자,
match
송병구
today.
선수 2019년 가장으로서 정말
And Stork,
엄청난
you
힘을
have
보여주고
made
계신데
a family of your own in 2019.
경기 준비 중 어떤 게 더
So
힘이
the question
드냐고.
asks
네.
whether
물어봐주셨어요.
parenting was harder
네,
or
뭐
prep for round of 24 was harder.
하기보다는
Well, rather than focusing on one,
진짜 병행하고
I've
똑같은
been
필로 하고
keeping a
있기
good balance
때문에
between the two.
물론 이제 육아에 좀 더 많은
And of
시간이
course, I've
필요하겠지만
spent a little bit more
경기도
time
소홀히 하지
on
않았거든요.
parenting.
뭐둘 다 재미를 느끼면서 하고 있어서
And the
힘든
two
느낌은
things
못
are
받고 있어요.
both attractive on their
또
own.
아이가 태어난 전과 후는 정말 받는 힘의 차이가
And since
차원이
you do
다를
have a
거라는 생각이
beautiful baby
듭니다.
of your
송병구
own,
선수 오늘도 좀 좋은 경기
I hope to see a
기대하겠고요.
good
자,
performance from you
마지막으로
today.
김윤환 선수와
And the next
얘기
question is for
나눠보겠습니다.
Calm.
자, 누구를 만나도
And
앉지마,
you say you have the mindset to not lose to anyone.
자신감의
And the
원천이
questioner
무엇인지
wants to know where this
궁금하시다고
confidence is
질문을
derived from.
남겨주시면서 질문자분은
Because the
도대체
questioner
어디에서 이
has no
자신감이 나오는지 전혀
absolutely no
모르겠다
idea where this confidence
라고
is
질문을
from.
남겨주셨습니다.
저도 원래 근데 프로 시절부터
Well, whenever
항상 이제
ever since I was a pro gamer,
자신감이
I
없으면
always had
게임을
full
이길 수
confidence
없다고
in
생각하기
going through in
때문에
games.
항상 이제 수많은 변수로 연습도 많이 하고
And I've prepared against a lot of variables in matches.
네,
So
약간
confidence is
김윤환
a
선수의
main
시그니처
factor
같은
when it comes to my
그런
game.
자신감이 아닐까 하는 생각이 드는데 이은 질문 역시 자신감에 대한 질문입니다.
Alright, this question
최근
also is
온라인에서의
about
전적,
confidence.
진짜 지하
And
세계
looking at your recent match history,
밑바닥을 향해
you're pretty much
한
just going
자릿수를
downhill
향해
in terms of
달려가고
MMR right
있는데
now.
대회에서 실력 발휘를
Do
할
you
수
think you can actually
있을지
show strong performance
장인철 선수가
on land stage?
질문을
And the questioner is no.
이거 경기 시작 전 너무나 큰 데미지가
Okay,
들어오지
this
않나 하는 생각이
question
드는데
might
김윤환
actually
선수
tilt you a
답변
bit,
가능하실까요?
but I think you're gonna have to answer this one.
글쎄요, 요새는 좀 복구했어요.
Well, you
요새 좀
see, I've
복구했고,
kind of recovered my
특히 저
MMR.
질문한 친구가 연습해
And
주기로
the
하고
questioner,
잠수를 탔는데
You know, he's.
오늘 떨어지면
I'm not really
저 친구
happy
때문입니다.
with the way he asked this
그리고
question.
이제 오늘 대회에서 실력 발휘는 패관수련 했습니다. 또
But today I
네.
prepared.
패관수련 또 했기 때문에 자신 있어요. 사실.
I have confidence today, and I'll
자,
show it today.
과연 이 장윤철 선수가 어떤 마음으로 또 김윤환 선수의 경기를 지켜볼지 기대하도록 하겠습니다. 오늘 네 분의 인터뷰 너무
And that is
감사드리고요.
the
좋은
end
경기
of the interview
기대하겠습니다.
with the 4 players. Thank you.
자, 이렇게 2조 경기를 앞두고 있는 4명의 선수와 함께했습니다. 과연 오늘은 어떤
Cool.
선수들이
Thank you, Andy.
신박한
Guys,
진출에
welcome
성공하게
to
될지
another day
잠시
here at the
경기를 통해 직접
ASL.
확인해 주시기 바랍니다. 지금까지
It's good to be back.
이현경이었습니다.
We've been casting a lot of StarCraft 2. It's good to be back here casting StarCraft 1.
Especially with such a nice group here
Yeah.
tonight. Cannot wait to see who actually ends up getting through. I like the various trash talk. I love that Snow has made an account to get on and trash talk some of these other players as well. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. So we're going to be going into our matches in just a little bit. We are in the phase of this tournament where it is just best of ones. So it's going to be a very unforgiving environment for these guys.
Yeah, and this group, you look at it, and it might be the most volatile, dangerous group out of everything, right?
Like, it's very tough to call who gets out.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I feel like if I had to pick, I'd say maybe Sharp and Stork, but
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, if they both don't get out, I kind of get it too.
Yeah, in best of ones, like really any two players could come out of this group.
Yeah.
I am not even sure who I think is going to get. I feel like the way Stork's been playing, he should get out of the group, right?
Well, also how he played in KSL. I mean, he really killed it in a way that I think was wonderful for everybody who's watching, if you've been a longtime Brood War fan, because Stork was always the player who was amongst the top 4 best in the world, but not able to perform the same way Bisu and Flash and Jaedong did in the last 2 years.
He was the 4th best player in the world.
Yes, that's right. But he wasn't able to deliver the same kind of results. He looked rusty. He looked off at some of these ASLs. And then in the last KSL, oh my God. I mean, he was murdering.
Oh, I know. He looked so strong. And you see that group today. Of course, we have our group on Tuesday, and that's going to start 2 hours previous to this time. So it's just a little bit earlier.
And that's because we have the group selection after that.
That's
so
right.
Tune in at 5 p.m. KST. Otherwise, you're going to possibly miss out on the whole thing. I mean, these groups can sometimes go very quickly. And that'll feature Best, JYJ, Light, and Miso.
That's another just ridiculously awesome group there.
Yeah.
Seriously. Like, these last two groups are both amazing, in my opinion. I love them. Hard to say who's going to get out of either. Now, yeah, this group today, I kind of agree with you that I feel like it should be Stork and Sharp, but those Zerg's super dangerous. As we see so far, Terran not getting that many players out so far. Zerg really kind of crushing through. Look at that, 5.
Yeah. Exciting stuff here. This is going to be such a good group today.
Yeah.
I'm really curious to see how each of these players are going to approach this in a best of 1 too, because all these guys are so good. But man, best of 1 can be tough. So Sharp, Hyuk, Stork, and Calm. I also really like seeing Calm's confidence up there. You can see why this guy has such a big fan following. He's really charismatic.
Yeah, he really is. And, you know, all these guys have fan followings to some amount. Hyuk probably the lowest, but still a very dangerous player. This guy's always playing KCM. He's all over the place. Everyone practices with him and stuff. Overall, a slightly aggressive Zerg player. I don't know how he's going to make that work with Multiverse being the first map, but I guess we'll see on that. Yeah, it's exciting, Tasteless. I'm just like going through everything in my head and just kind of like praying that we actually get Sharp and Stork through. But I know Calm is so popular. A lot of people want to see him get through as well.
Maybe Hyuk pulls something off. I mean, best of 1s.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely something could go down.
It's a real possibility. I'm just talking about what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, hold on. All right, how do we feel about this song from Sharp? The song title is Celebrity.
Damn.
Which is definitely what Sharp
It's a
is.
bit of an arrogant choice, if you ask me. Mr. Yoga over here.
He might as well have gone with the song Paparazzi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those downward dogs have made all the blood go to his head, Tasteless.
Yeah, Sharp is such a great player. He definitely has his own style. It doesn't seem like he's definitely had some influences from some other Terrans, but when you're going up against Sharp, you better be ready specifically for how he's going to tactically approach the game.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I would say overall, this Terran versus Zerg specifically is his weakest matchup.
Yeah.
A lot of people really value his Terran versus Terran very highly.
His TVP is pretty scary too.
Yeah, no,
he's
it
one
really
of those
is.
super active Terrans.
Yeah, he's one of the only Terrans that actually beats Rain somewhat regularly. So
And
that's
it's usually
a big
with his
statement.
vultures and getting in there and doing damage.
Oh,
He's a handful for these Protosses to deal with early on.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the song that plays in every place that serves cheap beer in Korea. Whenever I'm out having drinks in Korea, and I think, and this song comes on, I say, yeah, you know, this chicken hoff is okay.
Yeah, right? It's the right price at least.
Yeah.
Well, that's the perfect song then for Hyuk, because he's kind of the budget Zerg in this group.
That's right. These songs usually turn up a little bit too loud in this place.
Yeah.
I have to talk. You know, as a caster, I don't like to yell too much. I'm not a fan of clubs. I only like to yell at my work. But yeah, usually the song is blasting.
Yeah, no, I like it a lot. And you know what? Someone might have to hold his beer because he's a very aggressive Zerg player. Right. You never know what he's really going to bust out.
He might say, hold my beer and start to micro those mutas a little bit too crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Now we've got Dr. Disrespect music playing. All right.
We're all over the place
all right,
today.
let's go. Multiverse is going to be our first map. We'll be unpacking that map a little bit more, depending on how the build orders go. Game 1's ready. Sharp versus... Yuck. Let's go. Sorry, Ertosis.
Oh,
Yuck, 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 yuck. That's not an easy one to shout out. I didn't
Now
realize.
playing in Multiverse.
Multiverse. Oh, great audience tonight.
absolutely packed in here.
Great
Tickets
cheers.
were sold out days ago.
Yeah.
So, in the top leftish of the right is Sharp, and in the bottom rightish of the left is Hyuk.
I like this.
Yeah, which means they are cross spawns and on different sides of the map. The map is split diagonally, and that means that this can be cut off really strongly to the point where it goes split map.
We saw that mech style where you get a lot of Goliaths early on. Is that something we should expect to see here this time with Sharp?
It's pretty likely.
Yeah.
It's pretty likely. Like, enforcing... Here's the problem. There's stacked temples, okay?
Right.
If you go for bio, and Zerg can control it well enough because they're on the other side of the map, where they keep your bio back, and then they kill all the geysers, okay?
Right.
Which isn't actually hard. Any pro Zerg should be able to pull that off. Then you have to use bio to kill stacked temples, which is going to take 1 billion years.
Right.
And it's just not going to work. So I think in these spots, I think if you spawn on the same side, you can absolutely go by on this map. But I think you're almost forced into mech because of these spawns.
Interesting, interesting.
Just to make that clear, siege tanks can wreck that center very easily
Because
so
of the splash damage that they
right.
have, they can tear an opening into there.
Yeah. So there just wouldn't be a good transition to late game with bio here, as far as I can figure out.
I'm really enjoying the games on this map. It's made for some really interesting stuff. And I always want to emphasize this whenever we do have new maps come into play, is that it's the maps that really do make the RTS alive and the meta changing.
Yeah, yeah.
So much of other games, I'll take MOBAs for instance, they're trying to balance it around items and certain statistics with certain characters, but one of the great things about RTS is that we can always tinker with the map, and even just in a small way, completely change the way that we understand how the game's going to operate.
It changes everything. It's absurd almost how different this will play as opposed to like Fighting Spirit, right? You get games that you've like never seen. Think of some of the maps we've had in ASL for the last few seasons and the bizarre games that they've given us. It's kind of the beautiful thing about StarCraft 1, because StarCraft 1 maps can truly get crazy. With StarCraft 2, there's like their maps definitely play a role, but you have to be very, very careful overall with what you do with them. You know what I mean?
Wait. Oh, miscontrolled that there. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I was pretty sure the SV was going to win that fight at the very end when he committed, but maybe a little bit nervous here. I think StarCraft 2 is starting to get there, though.
Well, you got to be careful. It's harder to make 4-player maps there because the spawns, the way that it works, it makes it a little bit more difficult. And then there's, things that are very abusive for, like, liberators behind certain areas and Blink Stalkers getting into areas and Prisms waiting in certain areas. You look at all those things. Whereas in Brood War, it's kind of like, it's a little bit more mechanical, but a little bit less about those types of things. And so we get these maps that are just wild, like this map. By the way, he's going to build his command center with the 5 hit point SCV.
I know that's a little bit bold.
That's base Sharp here.
So the layers coming down here now at the natural, and I'm assuming this is going to be tech into Mutalisks. Try to put some pressure onto the Terran, unless we're in for, both you and I are in for a surprise as well as Sharp. And now we have that barracks lifting off and moving out here.
Yeah, and Sharp should be going into a Goliath build, I would imagine. Like, he could technically go into a 1-1-1 and try to do something with that. Looking for this Overlord. Barracks
Looks like
trying to chase it down.
Just barely going to be able to catch up to it. The Marine is going to have to move up the steps there. And this is a great catch early on. We don't have any Zerglings out on the map to try to catch this Marine.
Yeah, he's got like 4 at home, but with the Voltrout, you can't do anything.
Oh! Whoa. I stand corrected. I didn't see that Hydralisk stat.
He didn't throw down a Spire, did he? Because sometimes, like a lot of times against Vulture, you get both of them.
Right. Okay, so he got that right away, and this means we might be having some type of rush over at the entrance of the natural here. Now, there's going to be vultures there to see this.
Now, has the SCV kind of watching? He is going to want to push that back before showing the Hydralisks because you kind of want to catch him off guard. Let's remember, what was it? Solkey, I believe it was, caught Ample off guard with the Hydralisk attack and still did not bust him, and it went to like a 30-minute game, right?
That's right, that's right. And so a lot of these Hydra timing attacks are designed to abuse how flimsy the Terran truly is to unusual unit compositions early on. Traditionally, we would expect Mutalisks, right? And so the Terran cuts as many corners as possible to tech up and brace for the Mutas. But Hydra attack, now remember, Hydras are not generally the ideal unit composition like Speed Hydras to have against Terran. I mean, the Hydras are strong units, but certainly Medic Marine could handle it. But in this case, these Hydras are going to come barreling forward, and Vulture Goliath is, again, not really the answer to Hydras. And so what Hyuk's trying to do is come in here and do quite a bit of damage right away. Again, there's no Spire that I'm seeing here, unless I'm missing something.
No, he doesn't have a Spire. You're right about that.
And he wants to come in here and with the high DPS that the Hydras have, do a lot of damage. Now, the bunker finishing up, Hydras are not strong against bunkers.
No, that's actually just the counter to Hydras and why you don't see them that often. Because just repairing a bunker beats them. It takes 12, I keep saying this because I really want to triple underline it, takes 12 Hydra shots to kill an SCV. So the SCVs can kind of repair forever. Right. It's just so hard to actually break through
the combination of a bunker and SCVs, the bunker is just probably not going to go down unless you have so many Hydras firing at the bunker that the SCVs can't get there in time and can't repair it.
And that does happen, and you can get wins like that, but like the Vulture's just being out there, he's scouted this. He looks completely safe to me right now.
Now, one thing to note is that this tech here from Hyuk, it can be intimidating initially, but it does not parlay into a healthy mid-game. No, generally not. Really. I know we've seen especially Solkey kind of bend the rules of the game. So he's going to go into this Lurker tech, and he's hoping to, with burst damage, just pound through the entrance and start the finishing move of the game here. But if this attack does not work, Sharp is in a really good spot, and Hyuk is in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, what Hyuk is going to do is target that turret. If he can kill that turret without losing all of his Lurkers, he can win this game.
Right, and so it's all going to come down to this one structure.
Yeah,
and,
that is it.
The one thing about this is that, okay, hold on. Here we go. He's coming forward.
Okay, all Sharp needs to do is keep this turret alive, and he should be fine. Now, some pretty decent shots going up through everything, but it looks like he's just going to hold,
he's not even in range of the turret.
Yeah. So
that, I mean, that's just didn't do anything at all. There was actually another turret being made to the left of that. I think it's just covered there.
Oh, yeah.
I almost didn't see that.
Beautiful. So breaking through is even less likely at this point. From here, he should just get into some siege tanks. Yeah, he lost some SCVs. Yeah, the Goliaths that he lost don't really matter. This is pretty all in from Hyuk. He doesn't have another hatchery.
No, I mean, this is basically it. If he doesn't come in here and do something right away, he's probably, I mean, he might even just tap out. We'll see. I mean, I wouldn't blame him if he tries to stretch the game out a little bit more. But, I mean, eventually, with the economy that the Terran has, even just pure Goliath is going to run over the Zorg eventually here.
Yeah, it's true.
It's this funny thing where Goliaths are not really what you want against Hydras, but if you have enough of them, it's fine anyways.
They're like Dragoons in that way.
Yes, you beat me to it. I was going to say, it's this weird thing where it's like, if you get enough of them, you're basically fine. And so Sharp is probably feeling pretty confident.
I would definitely say so. I feel like at this point, because you see that Hyuk is trying to take another base, but Sharp is actually blocked with an engineering bay, which is kind of hilarious. But I feel like at this point, as Hyuk, either he's going to continue the all-in by trying to do it like a drop into the main or something, but I don't think that's going to work, or knock everything down and buy yourself time. Right? Knock down all the geysers, choke up the map a bit, and see what you can do.
Okay, he's coming in, and this is great kiting as well. Look at that. Yeah, this is just going to get worse before it gets better here for Hyuk. Again, guys, when you open up with strats like this, you're taking a risk. If you don't do the damage right away, you're probably just going to lose the game. And I mean, the idea of this ever coming in here and breaking the Terran is just, I cannot imagine it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, well, Hyuk does things like this. It's funny because I've seen some of his macro games and he can play those pretty well, but he oftentimes plays like this when the pressure's on against pro gamers, right?
And I don't really blame him. I think the idea here was that he thinks he's probably better off sucker punching Sharp than trying to really spar with him in a drawn-out game. I mean, Sharp is among the most comfortable players that we have here in the ASL. I mean, you see he seems to be very unfazed, not anxious, comfortable, relaxed, and focused. And so, tall order to try to beat him here. You could see some of the army going back into the main because one other follow-up that Zerg can have, if they're really trying to go to like plan C or plan D to end the game, is to do the drop in the main.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, and you know, it's so obvious that he just kind of like his blind counter. He's like, well, what could go wrong here? Maybe a drop. He's getting ready, but it's not happening.
This is like a lot of times when games end up in this position for the Terran, it's almost like there's a checklist. You're just ticking boxes off. Okay, is my main fine? All right, you know, do we deny the third? Okay, let's scan and see if there's any other weird tech. No. All right, let's keep on course here. Now, Zerg is going to try to rely on the fact that Terran will have to stretch out with a lot of scans before he can push across here. But I think this push probably won't be stopped. There's no science vessel, right? I thought maybe the starport making, but
no, that was probably just to get his. Well, I mean, I could see him making a vessel just for detection or something, possibly. But I feel like what you want to do right here is just go up to 2-1 and get a third base as Sharp. Like he can attack as well because this has been 2 hatch for 100 years and it hasn't really done much. I love, by the way, the 2 hold position lurkers in the top left.
Yeah,
that's great. It's a clever idea, right? He doesn't put him where the command center is. He's going to wait and see if, you know, possibly a bunch of SCVs get sent in there and he can just double volley them all down.
Well, it's kind of a. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, by the way, we saw Aspire. I thought this was going to happen. A Mutalisk tech switch here. The Mutas can kind of fight against the Goliaths if you get enough. He doesn't really have enough, though. You know, if
no
Sharp
armor
has his units at
either
home,
here.
Yeah, if they go Muta, you want the armor first.
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
Yeah, each armor upgrade reduces Mutalisk damage by 3, so it's pretty darn significant. I guess not each one, the last one not, but anyways. You know, Sharp is just kind of defending everything pretty easily. He has killed one of the geysers at each location, and that effectively holds out all mech units and allows Hydras and Lings through. So very well done, but here's those siege tanks that can kill the stacked temples like we were talking about before.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a matter of time before this push starts to come out. Now, killing all these SCVs is going to be pretty huge, and wow, he actually is going to see this.
The only reason he built the turret is because there's mutas out.
Yeah. Now, has he actually noticed this, though? Okay, he has.
Now
he
has.
Stopped that.
Poor Hyuk.
Yeah. So
he got himself there by making Mutalisks.
Yeah, it's the counter that he had happened to counter also what Hyuk was trying to spring on him with. So that's 2 more lurkers down. Every lurker and muta we see lost without killing a lot of the army it's a pretty big loss here for the Zerg. I mean, if you note, Terran's not really losing anything. Terran's continuing to grow and get bigger and bigger on the map here. Oh, okay, it's fired over at the one on the other side. I got confused.
Well, he finds a way in with his mutas here. Gonna kill some SCVs, so they're getting something done at least. Some decent damage.
Yeah, I mean, this is what Hyuk was basically looking for, is to kill something off. I mean, he's going to kill basically every SCV over here. That's not bad.
That was really good. He only lost 2-3 mutas.
And now it seems like this area might be somewhat undefended as well. So, I mean, you kill all the workers at 2 bases. That's got to count for something, right?
Yeah.
My concern really is that when Sharp actually comes out and starts to try to fight. Oh, what? Okay, there's vultures in here for some reason. I don't know.
Ran speed vultures by somehow and is actually doing some great job. He does have that +1 attack, so now he can 2-shot these drones.
Right. But to go back to what I was saying before we saw that, when the push comes out, though, I just don't know how the Zerg's going to hold it.
Yeah, it's very true.
I mean, Terran is going to have quite a bit. The mech army's quite strong. We see that the temples are about to be demolished. And so when this push comes, and there's no hive, correct?
There's no hive. He's
so there's
on
no dark
tech.
swarm.
Yeah, the one thing to point out is that this is only 3 factory production at the moment.
Correct.
So if he breaks the army, that's Hyuk. If Hyuk breaks this army, he'll actually have a real chance in the game again. because it'll take forever for Sharp to get maxed out.
Here comes the setup. I mean, this whole game on Sharp's side was basically leading up to this moment. He's going to drop, I'm assuming, vultures into the main here to try to kill off workers, and then he's going to attack in the front. And I think even without the drop, he might still be able to just push through here. I mean, this is a very, very sizable army. The Hydra missile attack has been upgraded, but we're just starting to see these mutas get vaporized. The rest of the tanks are coming forward. And again, how do you stop this? A lot of this came down to how the game started and the fact that Hyuk took a risk. Sharp shut it down, and that means that Sharp had an easy mid to late game to close that out.
Yeah. Hyuk does this type of play a lot. You know, 2 hatchery, Hydra into Lurker.
Right.
Trying to bust through bunker and turret and Goliath. It's a tall order. It's a risky strategy. It doesn't have that high of a win percentage, and we see why here.
Right. Well, you know, I actually liked what Hyuk tried to do. It just, you know, he didn't quite execute it correctly. I think you really got to go hard on that turret. He did not even have lurkers in range of that one turret.
I thought that's what he was going to do, and then he's like, oh, maybe the splash damage will kill everything? Oh, I don't know. Mech units have a lot of health, you know?
Yeah, lurkers are not particularly great against mech units.
It's like 6 lurker shots kill a Goliath.
Lurkers are good against Marines because if you get the right angles, you can kill everything before they can do anything. So, that does it for Game 1. We're going to a break. When we come back, Stork versus Calm for our second best of 1 in tonight's ASL.
재미가 없으면 원래 TV가 아니지.
이번 선거 나 대신에 출마해요.
안산 대신에 나 이제 가만 안 있는다고.
칼자루 잡아먹는 그 자꾸 야! 정치는 야 배짱이야 배짱!
선거가 장난 같아요 지금?
선거 포기 안 하려니까 말리지 마시오.
We've been compromised. It puts every citizen of this planet at risk.
We are the men in black.
That was awesome!
TV ASL Season 8 Expansion.
Welcome back to the ASL. We're going to go into our, We're going to go into our second best of 1. Sharp played amazingly there.
What were you looking at over there?
I'm just looking at the audience. This guy's taking it all in.
Yeah.
No, Sharp played brilliantly. I thought Hyuk had a cool strategy. It didn't quite work out.
You call it cool, I call it not so cool. I don't
really.
It's like especially it's like far away. If he has a vulture in front of your base, he sees it coming, which means he has enough time to build a bunker, and then you never break it.
Right.
And then it's like, what are the possible follow-ups here? If you got Hydra speed, it's not like you're just going to go directly into mutas, right? That's how are you going to afford that?
Yeah.
That's about the worst build I can think of.
Yeah.
So it's like almost obvious that lurkers are coming, then you have detection. It's like, this was your plan?
Well, it's one of those strats where the initial attack can be really scary, but the only follow-up you have is less scary, and then a heady gone for the drop, that's even less scary than that, you know? It's like the logical conclusions of what you can do from the position you put yourself into by trying to get the advantage early on.
It's like one of those builds that I look at, I'm like, if I played this on ladder, I'd be like, oh, you don't want to be good, you just want ladder points. Is that
you must want to beat me
is
really
that
badly.
all you care about is ladder points? But here we are in ASL, so I don't know, man.
Sometimes you got to pull out a scumbag build, Artosis.
Yeah, it was pretty scummy.
Oh, no, hold on, what's this song? Oh, now this plays in every budget coffee shop in Seoul. Okay, Stork going for, I don't know what this is. This is a duet of a man and a woman singing?
Yeah, for coffee shops. Which he probably visits quite a bit, as he has his child now and probably doesn't get a lot of sleep anymore.
That's right. You need that caffeine to stay awake.
Yeah.
And keep parenting.
Now, here's the question. Did he bring his own baby to himself? How does that work?
Oh, that's a good point.
Right?
I forgot about that. The Stork brings the
like
baby.
Like how doctors always operate on themselves? Like, did he bring his own baby to himself?
Oh, can you imagine operating on yourself? That's so scary.
You just need a mirror.
Ugh. All right, well, obviously a big fan favorite here, but the guy he's going against is no slouch. Calm.
Yeah, Calm. There you go. That's
a good song.
Jaedong's song.
That's right.
Now, Calm is unbelievably popular right now.
Yes.
He is a really, really big streamer. Obviously, he's quite a strong Zerg, a very strategic Zerg, I would say.
Yeah.
He's like more aggressive than Macro. The thing is, I don't see him winning in ASL anytime soon. Like, he's in the past been of a level where it's like, oh yeah, this is a guy that can get very deep. I don't feel that from him right now.
Well, but let me put it like this: he's a guy that I think everybody's excited for and rooting for. He's a good player.
Yeah.
He's really charismatic.
Yeah.
And it would be very cool to see him actually come out and dominate. But you're right; we don't expect the greatest of things from him, at least yet. But we hope for it.
Yeah. Well, I think he's probably practicing quite hard at the moment, as he has such a nice rabid fan base. If he does well in ASL, it's kind of a big deal. But he's going up against Stork, right? And Stork just was monstrous lately, right?
Yeah.
He looks so scary in KSL. And if he continues that here, he could top 4, really, with that level of play.
I'm all for it. We're going to be going once again onto Multiverse for Game 2, and that's ready. Let's get this PvZ started.
Now playing in Multiverse.
All right.
Again, more big cheers here in the audience. We got a really lively crowd tonight.
Top right downish spot, it's Stork. And in the bottom left uppish spot, it's Calm, which means very similar spawns to what we saw in the last game, where they are not just cross map, but on other sides of that wall. So we'll see how that impacts. I think that Calm will come with a very interesting strategy for this map. He's
right.
I feel like he does come up with really cool and neat builds.
So, a couple things about this matchup in general. You know, we want to watch and see if Zerg goes for any crazy exploits early to try to kill the Protoss. Sort of like what we saw the Zerg do against the Terran. A lot of ideas like that can work even more so against the Protoss early on.
Yeah.
Protoss is, in this matchup, probably this is the opening where one race is much more flimsy than the other. The Protoss just trying to get everything set up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Zerg options. That being said, I mean, Protoss can also proxy gate, which is pretty scumbaggy, but we're not having that this time around. So
it
now
looks
we
like
want
a gate, though, right? This has to be a gate.
It should be. Yeah, the probe's still there.
Be the worst cannon rush all time otherwise. Oh, a 2-gate.
Okay, so this actually is going to be some scummy.
We saw someone do this.
Well,
in this first
I know we did. I can't remember who it was, but so this is actually among the older builds that were experimented with Protoss. And the idea is you do the 2-gate rush. Oh my God, is that a... Okay, he's getting gas here as well.
Huh.
Well, this is going to be fun to see how this interacts with it. I was expecting an overpull or something, but so the idea is you try to rush in there. If it fails, you can clog the entrance and try to expand. It's really hard to pull off if the rush fails, though. There's a lot of different things Zerg can do, and that was a 9-10 gate, right?
Yeah, it was super fast.
So 9-10 gate.
Or 9-9, I don't even know, I didn't look.
Probably a 9-10, but so if it's a 9-10, the Protoss means business. This is intended to really do more than give the Zerg a black eye. This is to come in here and possibly close it out.
Black eye and a limp.
Yeah, a black eye and stop his heartbeat.
Okay. Oh, damn!
Yeah.
Oh, that's hardcore then. Yeah.
So, we have the probe coming forward. Now, this is unusual because it's this is what 9-pull link speed, right?
Mong did this. That's who it was.
Yeah.
Mong in the first
Oh,
group.
good memory, Artosis.
Yeah,
so, lings with speed are actually, they can beat this.
Okay.
If you run by and start to kill workers off, you sort of shot the rush in the foot, so to speak.
Okay.
But if the Zealots can start to come forward and actually apply pressure, it can be hard for the Zerg to actually manage. One thing to note is that the Sunken Colony is generally what stops the rush. It's not so much the Zerglings, because that extra, the second hatchery is later. That's organically how this occurs in the build, because things are delayed. Then it's hard for the Zerg to hold this. And so the Zerg is going to try to interfere with the reinforcements, but I think Stork already has a pretty good idea of what to do.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Oh, wow. All right, he's going to go.
He's running right by, but there is a creep colony coming up here in the main base. He's going to bring those other lings back immediately.
Now, the drone drill can help save this. I don't know if this is the right game plan. Let's see, because now these Zealots are too far away from the reinforcing Zealots, which causes problems. I thought he might go for a block there. Okay, I thought he was going to go for a block at the entrance, which you can do as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you go close enough to the main, then their lings run back. Link speed's done by then, and they just catch all your Zealots.
You see, though, he's hiding these Zealots over on the side.
Which is not a bad idea. Unfortunately, he will not be able to kill drones very easily with this, since the Sunken Colony is already there.
Is there a possibility to get the hatch here?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, lings with speed.
So what is he looking for then against a Sunken?
Well, he's looking for anything.
Okay.
I think the idea is that he already kind of screwed up the rush, and so once you mess up the rush, you try to spread Zealots out and do surprise attacks and hope you can outposition him. From here, he'll probably go.
Oh, you said he'd get no drones!
Taste your real laughing stock now. So now you go behind the minerals, and this is just to try to keep some control in the game. Now, some players will actually go for a 3-hatch Hydra from here, but it doesn't appear that Stork is actually going to try to expand.
Yeah. What is this? Oh my God!
Yeah, this
Corsair.
This is a variation. Now, what is that? A second Stargate? Don't tell me.
No, that had to be a Citadel. That can't have been anything else.
But what if it was a second Stargate? Then Hydras just win anyways. It's
Can you even afford that on one geyser?
I think you could barely afford that if you did tech anywhere.
Wow. Wow.
So this is a variation where you're going to try to basically play as if it is like 2001, basically. Like, it's a very old style. This is not the best way to approach the matchup, but it's something. Okay, so it's a forge. Yeah. So he gets the star. I got it. He gets the cannon up here because you don't want to die to Hydras. They try to attack you that way. You get the Corsair because you need to get some scouting off. You need to get an idea of what's going on here. And then you're going to try to make a Nexus. But you're really playing from a bad spot here as Protoss.
I'm trying to think of what he's supposed to do. Everything seems so slow and far behind.
So basically, the problem with going for a one-base build off of, by the way, if you start at 2-gate and then you go, because the oldest StarCraft 1 build PVZ was gateways in your vein and you Zealot Russia.
Yeah.
So the problem for the Protoss here is that the second gas is so late.
Yeah.
That the Zerg tech is so strong, and Zerg have so many directions they can pull this game into. It's just very hard to play from here. Now, it can be done, but it is a much, much, much tougher mid-game for the Protoss.
Sure. Okay, so quick question.
Yeah.
I would imagine that you just have to go Corsair Reaver on this map. Would you agree with that, or
you mean because the map's going to get cut off?
Yeah, otherwise you have no actual mobility. You can't get through those centers forever.
I would say you have to go Corsair. I don't know if you have to attack the Zerg on the other side of the map necessarily. Maybe you want to go. I don't know, actually.
I feel like I feel like we'll see Corsair Reaver because I'm trying to imagine breaking through those temples with Protoss units early on, and it would take too long, you know?
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, you can just mass up and break through later on and try to play the game from there. I mean, I don't know if this was a map where it could be purely cut in half and you couldn't do anything. By the way, this is a comical amount of kills these Corsairs are getting.
34 of 19.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like that's what he's going to do, Artosis.
Okay.
It feels a little bit weird, but yeah, that's kind of the gameplay.
You know, there's those island bases in the top right and bottom left, and then you get kind of cut off, and like you want a lot of Corsairs anyways, so like Reaver, it feels like it's a decent opener, and then eventually you can break through the center and have a real army, but
right.
I like it. I think it makes sense in my brain.
So things will slow down quite a bit here. The Corsairs will move around the map, combing the map for overlords if there's any stray ones that they can actually find. And
what would be the point of killing that? It's like, I don't want my Lings to be able to escape.
Yeah, I don't know.
What is the point of that?
I'm not sure.
I don't want Hydras to be able to get through.
Comp's follow-up, you know, one thing you can do in this moment, I guess he hasn't confirmed that it's actually Corsair DT. He might be afraid of, or Corsair Reaver, excuse me, he might have been afraid of DTs or something, but
you can't, they don't fit through there, right? Through the one geyser, like only Zerglings, Hydras,
I was even
Marines,
thinking about
medics.
like a robo that you could ferry the, just a shuttle and a DT and try to drop it over there.
Yeah.
It's like not pretty, but I guess in theory you could do it. If Zerg is actually neglecting getting the Spire, and you know the Overlord speed's actually pretty late, I think you actually could go shuttle and then get one DT and start to control the map and push them away with Corsairs. I think.
I like the idea.
But I guess teching into Reavers sort of is a cleaner, more efficient build overall. You know. Now. Oh, what? Okay. I'm sorry. Those are 4 zealots he unloaded there. Am I seeing this correct?
You know what? That's like a place that you're not going to scout. I think he's going to ferry those in to fight with the Reaver.
Okay. No, you're right.
And then he can go home, pick up the Reaver, and like 2 more Zealots or a Dragoon or whatever it is that he wants, and then that's
and look at that, he's
pretty
checking
reasonable
for
army.
anything, so he doesn't see this at all, and so he's going to be able to elevator that in there. And I think a second Reaver's probably going to pop out here, right? No,
I think that one just popped, so he's deciding to go at this point. I'm sure
he's got to be fast with this. So the Corsairs are going to escort. Oh, he sees.
All right. Knowing that he's even going in that angle is going to help a lot. Spire is up. Maybe we'll see some Scourge coming out.
So he's going to try to push into the front. One would assume that the shuttle's going to go into the main, but actually there's no sunken colony here. So either place you fight is actually going to be pretty strong. Now, mutas are going to... No, I'm sorry. I thought there was going to be mutas hatching. We might have some mutas hatching, but there's already enough over here. And you know what? With this angling here... Oh, my God!
Oh, my God, indeed.
Okay. Fate was on his side for that.
He is killing.
Yeah, the thing is, he can actually, he can just take this out. This is a very small berth for these Hydras to try to get through.
Yeah, that's a lot of Scourge. That was That was not good execution. That was like Scourge.
Oh my God, and shuttle speed's done, and so
man.
it's going to be just so difficult. Dude, keep in mind that Hydrogen is here too. He can actually kill that.
Oh, everything's wrong. Well, I think you're switching to mutas here because you killed enough Corsair.
I think so, but I mean, just the point is that like this is actually becoming incredibly annoying here. Wow, another dudded Scarab here. Good control. He picks up, pulls away again. He's so good. Now he needs to just get the next kill. He's trying to bait out a few more of those to attack in here. The thing is, you can keep making Corsairs. That was a lot of Scourge that was spent.
Yeah.
You're continuing to make shuttles. You're continuing to make Reavers. The Zerg is essentially on 2 bases. I know there's an expansion in the upper left, but it's not like it's being used. It's more of a placeholder than anything else.
This feels like such an advantage for Stork.
Oh, no. Stork
and
is,
after
Stork
that
is crushing
the
here.
2-gate didn't really do that much, but...
Oh, my God. This is just so good for him here. Now he's going to be able to supply block him.
Whoa!
Oh, it's like every Overlord he has!
Kill them all! 44 of 4!
The mark of the beast!
The mark of the beast! I gotta 44 of 4!
Yeah. Well, he will probably be able to come in here with a closer.
I would hope so.
I mean, all he's doing is making Overlords right now. There's going to be 2 more Reavers out. He has enough Corsairs. This is a rare thing that happens at pro levels, but occasionally you can snowball them into being completely supply blocked.
Yeah.
You're just killing off the stuff. So that's another Overlord down. Eventually, the Reavers are going to be there, and the Hydras have to fight the Reavers, and then you will actually be able to lock him out of making stuff for the rest of the game.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, the 2 Reavers are coming. Here they go, Tasteless.
Here we go.
You don't even need to micro this stuff, man.
Yeah.
The Overlords are going to die again. Look, he got up to 49 supply. It's making progress. Oh my god. This was brutal.
Okay, going for the shuttle. But in some ways, this is exactly what Stork needs here. Because now there's no Hydras, so where are those Corsairs?
Oh, they need to get back in here.
Yeah, they're going to come in here.
Oh, it's going to be glorious.
Oh my god. And Calm is just getting decimated here. I mean, think of this. Each of these Overlords is 100 minerals. He's back down to 4. You know, 4 Hydras against 2 Reavers is not a fight you ever want to have as a Zerg player. So, yeah, that went better than expected, to be honest. Okay, I actually am surprised he held that off. The thing is, there's more Corsairs coming out. Spires off creep.
It would be hard for this to be worse.
No, this is like...
Stork's taking more bases. Look, he's got a great Ling spread over on the other side. Thank God he killed everything so the Lings can't get back to his side to help defend. Oh, he's got Burrow. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, it is 2019.
Yeah. The year of Burrow.
Okay, so the Overlords have hatched somewhere, but they're going to die. They were just born. They just were going to try to find out what this whole world was like. That's it, GG. A humiliating defeat there.
God.
Stork crushes through, and he will be facing off against Sharp in the winners match.
That was brutal. That was brutal. Yeah, Stork's still looking pretty strong.
Nothing else to say, man. I don't know. I'm speechless after that game.
Oh,
I mean,
my God.
The Reaver drop was beautiful. I have to say I'm very impressed at how Stork brought that into a safe mid-game. And, I mean, just punished Calm.
The Corsair and Forge before the Nexus, it felt like the Nexus was way too late, but he just played a beautiful game there.
Well, I think he was playing the map. You know, one thing that Calm did is he tried to shut out parts of the map, but it's like, okay, I'm gonna play an island game now. Protoss is like island maps.
Sure.
So, yeah. Stork, I guess the question now is how's the game gonna go against Sharp?
Well, that should be a very good game because it is on Neo Sylphid, which I think makes some very exciting TVPs. Kind of a smaller map, lots of engagements.
All right, Stork versus Sharp is coming up next, and the winner of that will move on to the next round of the ASL.
첫 번째 대결 시작됐습니다. 먼저 보이는 저그 김민철 선수예요. 철벽 김민철 선수 오늘 ASL 경기 펼칩니다. 김태형 선수는 파란색이에요. 6시와 8시 위치에 있습니다. 들어가서 정찰 꾸준히 해주고 있습니다. 오! 가스 견제까지. 팩토리 이후에 스타포트. 히드라 생산되고 있습니다.
히드라가 기습적으로 모여서 올라가고 있어요.
게다가 요즘은
벌쳐.
좀 소급 벌쳐 3기 정도를 쓰는 편인데
그렇죠.
소급이 의미가 없어질 수 있거든요.
네, 들어와서 하나
벌처
점차.
자체가 큰 의미를 갖지 못하게끔 일단은 히드라 5기 정도만 지금은 생산을 했는데 SCV와 함께 둘러싸여서 커버를 하면은
진짜 잘 버텼어요.
그렇죠. 자판포를 짓고 있는 상황이고 일꾼까지. 와!
네. 아, 일꾼 커버와
와!
카운터 역할을 해줄 수 있는 퀸이고
들어오는 걸 기다리고 있습니다. 다크선 펼치고 위에서 오우!
죽었어요. 이쪽을 노려서 탱크만 잡아내면 테란의 조합이 살짝 골리앗 조합이 되거든요.
울트라가 뒤쪽에 잔뜩 모였었거든요.
와, 울트라를 내려서
자, 드랍까지 머리 위쪽으로 드랍까지.
그렇죠.
자, 이 지역이 뚫리면 일단 영원히 다 뚫려버린다고 보면 돼요. 무조건 지켜야 됩니다.
들어가서 여기서 소모 좀 해줘도 병력과 바꿔줘도 테라는 이제 모으는데 시간이 필요하거든요.
네.
뭐 사실은 저울링을 계속 이제 무한대로 뽑아낼 수 있는 자원 상황이거든요.
네, 상대방의 내부를 지금 파괴하겠다라는 생각을 더 다수의 유닛을 지금 오버로드에 실으면서 보여주고 있죠.
네.
기동력의 우위인 저그, 또 생산력에서 우위일 수밖에 없는 그런 저그입니다.
경력 조합이 깼어요.
테란도 확장이 굉장히 많았습니다만 제대로 소화자치를 할 수가 없었습니다.
그러면 계속 올라옵니다. 여기 탱크라인 무너지면서 이 조합이 깨진 테란이고요.
머릿수로 지금은 밀어버려도 되는 상황이고
네.
김민철 선수는 자신이 선택할 수 있죠.
인구수 2배 격차 쭉쭉 밀고 들어가면서 취재. 멀티버스에서 두 번째 대결 시작됐습니다. 저그 김성대 선수예요. 왼쪽은 임진묵 선수예요.
옆구리로 슬쩍 들어가서
스타포트를 볼 수 있는 위치까지 얼마 안 남았죠.
네.
자, 에드원 보이고요.
자, 슬쩍 보이니까
불 들어오는
봤어요.
거죠. 셔틀 하나 있습니다.
상대가 앞마당을 가니까 팩더블을 한 게 아니라 10배럭 10가스 이후에 스타포트 그다음에 드랍십으로 벌쳐 드랍을 지금은 신경을 썼기 때문에
네.
요걸 어느 정도 잘 막느냐에 따라서 이후에 경기 양상도 좀 많이 바뀔 수 있거든요.
가다지만 이거 하나?
엄청난 피해를 입혔어야 되는 거죠. 지금 잊어먹고 있었고요.
좋다요. 좀 3개 남아있고 지금 클라킹 걸면서
네,
끌어내는데 오버로드가 있습니다. 찢어지죠.
완벽하게 알고 있었다는 듯 지금 대응을
네.
하기 때문에 레이스로 뭔가 자신이 주도권을 잡아오면서 확장까지 할 수 있는 시기를 걸기가 좀 쉽지가 않아 보입니다.
뮤탄스크 7기고요. 지금 레이스가 뮤탄스크 걷어내지 못하고 있습니다.
그렇죠. 상대방의 의도 자체를 미리 다 알고 있었다는 듯 아주 침착하게 대응을 하고 클로킹 레이스가 준비가 되어 있을 때 준비가 되자마자 바로 오버로드 소급이 되면서 본진 안쪽까지 들어와서 상대방의 의도를 파악하는 이 통찰력.
이게 엄청난데요?
예, 상대에게 맞아도
취재! 승자전 경기 시작됐습니다. 왼쪽이 김성대 선수예요. 오른쪽이 김민철 선수입니다.
발업됐을 때 확 뛰쳐들어가는 공격적인 플레이가 필요할 것 같습니다.
김민철 선수도 선발어 V라고 할 수 있겠고 일단 빌드 숨기기라고 할 수 있겠습니다.
네, 들어갑니다. 싸우러 좁은 길 진영 깨고 자 1차진
입구 쪽 막아놓고 앞마당 두드릴 게 분명하니까 이거를 드론으로 이제 뚫고 나가면서 싸우겠다는 의도거든요.
그렇죠. 자 싸워주고 이제 비비고 있는 상황인데요.
드론을 치고 잡던가 해주면서
이거
스포거든요.
스포 준비하는 동안에 저글링 안 뽑고 스포 준비하는 동안에 저글링으로 밀어버리겠다라는 생각이었어요.
그렇죠. 카운터 날리고 있습니다. 카운터.
자원이 모자랐기 때문에
이 병력들 지금 끊어냈고 안에서 입구까지 잡아내면 세그레 밖에는 김성대 와 속이는 능력.
스포를 그냥 힘으로 부수고 결국 상대방에게 공격을 강요를 지금은 합니다. 선수까지 하나 건설을 해놓고 나왔거든요. 있는 유닛이라고는 저글링밖에 없기 때문에 저글링으로 공격을 갈 수밖에 없거든요.
취재 김성대 ASL 내에서 대저그전 4전 전승을 기록합니다.
AfreecaTV ASL Season 8 Expansion.
What's up, guys? We're back at the ASL, and it's time to go to the winners match. We've had two, I guess, reasonably short games.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward there. Really cool showing from Stork. I mean, he's really exhibiting why he's sort of the know-all of Protoss throughout the ages of StarCraft.
The Lord and Commander of no weak points or whatever.
That's right. Something does not quite translate well at all, you know?
Yeah.
But now he's going to go up against Sharp. The map's going to be Neo Sylphid, which usually leads to pretty textbook PvTs here. You know, a lot of this is kind of the classic matchup of, you know, either the Protoss goes for carriers or arbiters, but Terran's choosing one of many possible tech paths. But, you know, what I'm trying to get is it's going to be your kind of bread and butter PvT, most likely.
Yeah, you know, it is such a normal map. The opening builds are going to play a pretty big role. I think that Stork plays some of the best straight-up PvT, so that's what I want to see from him.
All right, Neo Sylphid's our map. Let's go!
Now playing in Neo Sylphid.
So in the bottom right, we have Stork. And top center. We have Sharp. So, positionally, I think this is pretty decent for Sharp. Prefer them to be in front of you than behind you. And it's funny, we say that he has really great TVP, 10 and 12 against Protoss. That constitutes really great TVP.
Well, he's been playing some really, like the very best in the world, you know.
But actually, I was looking into the sets. I'll look it up to be sure, but I think that once you get past like a very low number of games, only Flash in ASL has a winning record against Protoss. In KSL,
right?
though, I think Sharp has a big winning record against Protoss.
Yeah, that would make sense. I mean, from everything I can remember in our previous seasons, he was pretty much killing everybody.
He was beating a lot of Protosses in KSL, and of course, that's where he got to his finals and everything. Anyways, I'll look that up sometime. But look, Sylphid is a pretty normal map. It's a little bit small. It definitely, you can get to each other reasonably quick. You can get a lot of bases relatively easily. You know, recently I've been very pleased with Stork's straight-up PvT. Like, he nails everything. And I actually think if you nail everything, that's the way to play against Sharp.
I think so. And here's why. If I can expand off of your idea, is that Sharp is, you know, a lot of the history of PvT, the Terran was forced to be the passive one. Protoss kind of got to run around and take the map.
Yeah.
And try to expand and gobble up as much of the resources as possible. But the thing is, if Sharp's kind of proven that even against the best in the world, he can come out punching. He's got some good fancy footwork with those vultures. He knows where he likes to go drops a lot early on. And look, Protoss are pretty terrified of guys that send vultures out a lot or drop different locations, you know, because you're trying to basically get everything set up to become this powerhouse machine that's macroing out a ton of units. The thing is, though, when Protosses play perfectly defense-wise and somewhat conservative, you just kill all the vultures, you'll kill the dropship, you don't do anything. We have a different build that's coming out here. This should be the DT rush in the middle of the map.
Ooh. Is that what we're going to see?
Oh, well, hold on. He actually made the second gate.
Yeah,
there.
so...
Okay, so, sorry. There's a different build.
I believe so. So this might be 10-15 gate?
Into Reaver.
Yeah, that makes me think it's going to be Reaver. That pylon in the center?
No, that is. There's another build where you make the second gate in the middle of the map with the DT rush, and so it looks like you're going for like Dragoon range, and then you actually run in. You have one zealot run in there through the mines, and then the DT comes, and you try to drive it back. But I think this was a 10-15. I'm sorry, I actually wasn't looking very closely at the starting build.
Yeah, no, I believe it's a 10-15.
We were so caught up in how he's going to play a conservative save game, and then to find out he's not doing that at all.
Well, 10-15 is good against Sharp in general because he likes to be fancy. Against 10-15, and I think actually the pylon is just hidden to make him think it's like DT or something, right? Just to freak him out, to make him play defensively. But anyways, against this, you just get a bunch of Dragoons. Because it's flat ground, you can actually really pummel down bunkers. Against this, what you should be doing is delaying your command center slightly and getting siege immediately. If you don't have siege, you won't hold.
Siege is the thing that will stop the rush entirely. Now, let's see if he does use that pylon. I'm curious. Now, the SCV spotted it.
Yeah.
Thing is, I don't feel like you have enough. Yeah, maybe he just wanted to hide it in plain sight. Maybe you're right. Normally, when you hide the pylon, you put it like in the corner of another main or something like that. But
it might have been just where his probe was at the moment or something like that.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't paying super attention to that, but look. Oh, look at that. Oh, never mind. I thought that was a Nexus. I'm like, whoa, that's really wild. Anyways, he throws a pylon down there. He's looking for drops.
The only thing about this build is that if you're really going to do the 10-15, you do not have a lot of probes behind this. It looks scary from the Terran's perspective, but if you go back look at the Protoss's home and see how many probes are mining, it could be a little bit of a paper tiger build here.
A lot of times, what you'll see with a build like this is you'll try and then you'll double expand, and you just he needs to kill this SCV. It's actually kind of important because if they see what you're doing, they can counter it really hard. If they don't see what you're doing, they have to get a turret.
Right.
Because when you get siege mode, you can't really afford getting anything else. And if they went DT, you die. But here the SCV gets in, sees absolutely everything, the whole universe, so he can skip Engineering Bay, which is amazing.
Right. And siege mode's done, and so these tanks are going to be driven away. Good targeting there. You definitely want to make sure they both hit one Dragoon and not two separate ones. Yeah. Because obviously that damage is permanent on those Dragoons. And so you're saying double expand. That's interesting.
Yeah.
The thing is, you're so naked as the Protoss. Like, you have no idea what's going on back inside the Terran's home because you skipped that Robo.
Well, when you go, when you have to go siege mode first, right, you're always going to make 2 tanks against this at least. And you had to go siege mode, which slows absolutely everything else down. And because of that, they don't have enough units to attack you early. So you kind of can go double expand. Now, there's some play there because it's like, does Terran know what you're doing? In this case, he saw Robo. He has to decide, okay, are you going Reaver? Are you going, Shuttle? Are you going Observer? But, like, Terran can't really move out for quite some time. The production facilities aren't really enough to do anything yet.
Yeah. And so, the Reaver, this is all pretty standard in the current meta, is that Protoss is basically always get a Reaver.
I think especially because he scouted him, if you don't get the Reaver and they decide to do something like go bio, you just die instantly.
Oh, that's a good point.
Like if you go siege against like 10-15 and then you just go 4 racks and tanks, you will roll through basically anything that's not Reaver.
Right. And the Reaver, it just keeps the Terran honest. The Terran has to respect that. Now, hold on. We have a push coming out here. Now, this is Sharp.
That's interesting.
Sharp is, like we were saying, he likes to be active. He likes to attack. He likes to move out. I feel like this might be risky.
The goons are a little bit out of position right now, but he should have 7-8 goons right now with, a Reaver on the way pretty soon. Yeah, he has 7 goons. So, like, Sharp's attack has some potential. He's very good at microing attacks like this, so we're just going to have to see. It's going to be a battle.
He's coming forward now. Now, again, the Reaver's not quite out just yet. Good targeting here.
Terrible control by Stork at the beginning there, so he's going to end up losing some goons. Great SCV block right there for a moment. Couple Zealots get out.
Yeah, these Zealots are going to be helpful in trying to just buy some time. They're pretty tanky. And so the Reaver's now out. Now, as long as he can get rid of whatever's protecting the tanks, the Reaver can actually win this fight. So here we go. Dragoon over here now, and Reaver.
Oh,
great shot.
Yeah, really decent Scarab right there. Good micro from Sharp overall, but this is going to be broken.
And this is the problem. That last Dragoon should be able to get this one tank.
Yeah. Beautiful.
And that is where Sharp made a big error. To attack out like that, if Protoss can destroy that, you are so comfortable.
Yes.
Keep in mind, now Protoss can be on the offense with the Reaver here.
Yeah.
The Gateway explosion is beginning. The 3rd base is about to finish. There should be enough on the map to hold off any vultures. But of course, Sharp being Sharp is already sending 2 vultures out.
Scanning. Of course. Stork is playing the player, right?
Right.
He knows, first off, he has vulture speed, second off, it's Sharp, so he's actually just setting up defenses everywhere. He doesn't want to lose probes. He's already broken the push.
And even though we had a crazy build that started this whole thing out, we're kind of seeing Stork go back to what we had mentioned earlier on, was that, if he plays a pretty conservative, safe game, he's going to kill everything that Sharp will try to throw at him.
Stork is a god. I'm getting chills. You saw him drop those probes off there?
Yeah.
You see where Sharp's vultures are?
Yeah.
He was waiting for the transfer, because this is the way that Sharp plays. Stork is playing so anti-Sharp right now, it's actually madness.
Yeah, everything that Sharp's doing is smart, but it's literally having no impact in this game.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful, really, to see him play in such an excellent fashion.
He's really just shutting down everything. Stork is playing magnificently. My God.
Yeah, I mean, this is really something quite beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm so impressed here. So here come those vultures now.
Ooh, nice micro there by Sharp. He's getting as much damage as he possibly can. Really not too bad, considering. Doesn't really gain him very much, though, unfortunately. Stork is really finding his stride right now. And from here, I think that Sharp's only real choice is playing quite a longer game. You can kind of see that he's admitted that. He has his 3rd command center finishing up.
Right.
Getting his science facility and all that. Looks like he wants to try to do something over at this 4th base. Don't think he's going to be able to do anything long term though.
The problem though is that the Vultures are just not going to kill the Nexus. You know,
it takes forever.
Protoss most games has to elect to give up the Nexus.
Yeah.
For that to be killed. Now, if there's a big minefield here, maybe it's going to take a long time for the Protoss to get there. But you know, a player like Stork, obviously, he's going to just move through the map and get this. By the way, the observer spots the dropship. That's pretty huge.
Yeah. And he has that pylon already placed as well. Sharp is trying every one of his tricks, you know? Like, he has so many great tactics like this, where he's looking for bits of damage. And look, I mean, he is occasionally killing probes and everything.
Yeah, but these Vultures are actually, at this point in time, it's a money sink here. So is he going to go straight into Arbiters?
Yeah, it's a really good call. And yeah, the more that this game unfolds, the more it becomes apparent that Sharp has to win in a very long game, which of course is going to allow Stork to get into heavy Arbiter tech, lots of bases and all that.
Yeah, if the Terran tries to get too aggressive early on, and the Protoss swats it away, generally the Protoss is very comfortable with either carrier tech or Arbiter tech. Is you're going to get all the stuff that you need.
Gets the good, nice. Good defense here. Stork just being a little bit annoying.
Yeah. Well, if you could get that armory, that would be nice. You know, that's the thing.
Yeah.
A lot of times with these recalls that we have, you know, people I think a lot of times see it as, okay, this drew the Terran army away and it did a lot of damage. But really, one of the bigger factors actually is that you can end up killing off the armories, which stops their upgrades and allows you to just be in a really good spot later on.
By the way, Sharp is so good at this harassment-based style. It's actually wild. Like, he is finding every little angle, and Stork is leaving almost zero open. This is some of the best defensive play I've ever seen against him. It's better than what Rain does against Sharp.
Yeah, no, it's... Again, Stork is back, guys.
He really is.
He's really playing well. He really seems to have a grasp on how to approach the game.
Now, we've said many nice things. This doesn't mean that the game is over. Right.
No.
Stork does not just win from here. Sharp knows what he has to do. Notice he has double add-ons. He has to go mass siege tank from here, and it has to be a long game, right? You have to get your upgrades. You have to make sure that you have so many tanks that stasis doesn't just free win you the first time it's used.
Ooh!
Nice hit on that mine.
Okay, I'm not sure about the story with these two tanks, but
yeah, I don't know what
this happens in Brood War games, even with the very best. Occasionally, it's hard to keep track of everything.
Sometimes you'll be trying to click something down there, but you accidentally have a factory hotkey or something, and
yeah,
who knows?
Accidentally set some rally point.
Yeah,
as you're playing too fast.
Right-click some units onto another unit, and the unit goes out for harassment. Everything follows. It's like, yeah, a lot of things can go wrong. Stork, he's just poking prod. He's not actually going to attack. Clear some mines, make the map a little bit more dark, make Sharp more defensive. See, he's like, oh, I better really more mines here. He's coming. He's not really coming.
No, he's just keeping the Terran.
He's not really
squeezing him, basically.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't want Terran to have too much turf over here.
Yeah.
I love when you see really good Protoss players play like this, too.
Oh,
They're
it's
just
awesome.
like, get back in, or, you know.
Well, you know, as exciting as the crazy all-ins and stuff and the greedy builds can be from Protoss, I do like to see a Protoss just sit there and be like, no, I know how to win this game, and I'm going to macro this out, and I'm going to make the right moves. Like, Sharp's, I mean, he's gaining a little bit of value with these Vultures and everything, and this is really part of the strategy. If you're going to go into the later game against Protoss, where they're going to have a lot of Arbiters, you need to be doing non-stop Vulture harassment, because this is what's going to buy you time and free up your supply to keep adding siege
Oh my
tanks.
god. Oh, never mind. There was a tank just off camera, okay. I was about to say, that would be a huge amount of damage.
Yeah.
And a location that actually I think Terran would probably not be looking for. You know, you could maybe get 2 or 3 shots off even before Terran would catch on to what's happening. Okay, so now Stork is getting to where, you know, Protosses love to be.
Yeah.
They've got a ton of bases. They have a bunch more gateways. The only thing he actually doesn't have is gateways in another spawn.
Yeah,
sometimes
that's true. That's a very good point. If you get up in their face, and you can actually do like a contain at the natural or something like that while you're killing it, it can get a little bit gross. But he does have Arbiter tech, so he will get recall, which will give him a little bit of maneuverability around that.
So we should be seeing that recall get set up now. This Arbiter is close to having the energy. How much energy is it? 150?
150 for recall.
Right.
I know what you're saying. Wow, that's really cheap for such a strong spell. But yeah, no, it's 150.
So he's going to move some of his army over here. Oh, Zell.
Okay, Zell like
it's
15
just
minutes.
finished.
Wow.
You can get it pretty late if you're going to rush in Arbiters, you know, especially if you hold up that first attack.
Oh, totally. He can't attack you, so you don't need it until the the possibility of him attacking you or you attacking him. But yeah, Stork has done magnificently here to set him up. I love that he's adding the High Templars now.
Yeah.
The combination of Stasis and Psystorm is just so potent.
Oh, it's a nightmare. Now, are there any vessels out? I didn't see any just yet.
He does. He has at least one vessel. He should have EMP now too. Even gonna put the High Templars into the shuttle to make sure that he can get those off. You notice that the main is getting a little bit crowded. This happens on Neosilphid a little bit. Yeah. You don't really have enough room to perfectly defend against Arbiters and to get all your depots and all your factories.
Oh, he's just gonna go and try to jam his army in this location here.
Yeah, it's a little bit sparse on the defense there, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess I actually thought there was much more. I don't think we ever had a really clear shot of this base, but now this is going to pull a lot of the army out, and I think then we're going to have the recall here.
Yeah, we definitely could. Like, it seems like he's getting ready a little bit, but even just picking off these tanks for those Zealots, Stork has a huge amount of minerals now, right? His third base was a mineral only, so very good usage of those Zealots to clear so many tanks.
Yeah, will he recall a second Arbiter into this as well, is what I'm wondering.
It's possible. Is he going to recall right there?
Yep, right on
those
the
are
mines.
good mines.
Yeah.
Well, they were okay mines.
Yeah. Now, that's the kill he wants to get. I feel like some of these Terrans need to put their armories in much more. Like, you should have that armory. I guess he could come in from the other angle, too, then, though.
Yeah, I think you're somewhat right. Like, the first one has to be in the main, and if you line them up, it's easier to keep it going. But, yeah, like, it happens so often that you lose armories to a recall.
I mean, as a Protoss player, when I see that, I'm like, oh, yes, you know.
Slowing those upgrades, that's really the Terran late game, is just better upgrades. Protoss gets different units, not Terran, man. We just want more tanks and more upgrades. So 3-1. He did. Oh, okay. So that was the armory, right? So that was the far less important one.
Yeah, much better to deny the attack upgrade, because that's where your siege tanks start to melt on the Protoss units. Remember, guys, that Terran units with upgrades scale better than Protoss units with upgrades, which is why
quite a bit.
You can do anything to kind of slow that down. It's ideal. Now, this upper right base is the last location realistically the Terran can control. If you could possibly deny the Terran that, it would be great. But and Terrans Protoss can have almost the whole map, and if Terrans can kind of hang on with the few bases they have, there's still sometimes a shot. Okay, here we go. We should have some stasises. No stasis on the what do you call it? Science vessel. Excuse me.
And throws out some Psystorms here, starting to break through. Yeah, these siege tanks look like they might get completely cleaned up. Actually, it's close. This was a very good attack by Stork, though.
And the thing is, behind the Stork is remaxing. Oh, that's right. Arbiters can attack. Don't ever forget that.
Yeah, it's explosive, too, so it does all right here.
Oh, that's cute.
I love it. Move your dropship just a little bit.
Please.
Just a little bit. Get that spot in. That's a great spot right there. I love that.
Yeah. Again, sharp being sharp.
Yeah. You know, Stork definitely needs to take that other main base at this point. He's given himself that kind of window where it doesn't feel like Sharp can attack too quickly. But you know what? Harassment like this from Sharp is going to give him some time to rebuild his siege tank count a bit, you know, and kind of come out and re-challenge once again. Wow, I mean, what fantastic harassment that was.
What? Is he just going to
No, this is just some sort of mishotkey, bad attack move. I don't know. Wow. That was
Stork. Okay.
All right. Go Sharp. Yay. Like, didn't do much to deserve that one, but okay.
Oh, I think this might be a Storm drop. Maybe a Reaver drop even?
I think his Reaver probably died by now. Or maybe
you can make another one. You can make another one. I mean, it's not
only
like
Snow does that. Come on. Only Snow makes like
Here we
Reaver
go.
drops.
Oh, all right. Well, this is just going to float over there.
I would make a Wraith against that, man. you know something dangerous is in that shuttle.
Yeah. Here comes another shuttle.
Oh. There's something dangerous in there as well.
Keep in mind that the vacant area on the left side of the map is still accessible for Protoss later on. The only other place Terran could maybe take would be like maybe the upper left or maybe the lower right. I don't know about this one, Artosis.
Yeah, this feels like he's just trying to set up a recall with that draw.
I think so, yeah.
Because it takes 3 turrets to kill an Arbiter as it's flying over. So maybe he's just thinking he'll clear some of that, so he has a recall potential.
Okay, there's the EMP.
A very nice one.
On that. Can he actually get up to these tanks?
I want to know how many factories Sharp has, because his money's a little bit high for this supply right now.
Actually, that's a good point. I had noticed that. Yeah, something's wrong with his macro setup.
Might be. That happens to Sharp occasionally. Yeah, it feels like some of these attacks from Stork, I would almost prefer that instead of doing these trades, he would just take the left-hand side of the map, throw a Nexus down.
I think it's okay. I mean, he's just Sharp's supply is getting lower and lower, and his tank numbers are getting lower and lower.
Yeah.
And it's sort of this thing where, yeah, like the Terran holds it off and it doesn't look pretty, but over time you eventually have the Terran getting whittled down more and more. We're in the phase now where the gases are getting mined out as well.
Yeah.
And so that's another thing that is important to keep note of, is eventually the tank count's going to be so low that really mashed Dragoons can run over an army, you know.
That's true.
Another EMP there.
He's just having a hard time getting anything done, though. This is such a beautiful game by Stork.
Great squeeze by Stork the whole way through here. I mean, he handled Sharp pretty gracefully early on, and has just brought this game, I think, to its strategic, logical conclusion here.
Yeah.
He's just going to try to come in here once more. Again, we're seeing less and less tanks on the map. And, you know, Goliaths and Vultures, you know, Zealots and Dragoons especially can handle that. You know.
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh, misses the opportunity to sidestorm that.
Not a lot left over for Sharp.
GG.
Yeah. All right. Well, Stork gets out of the group in first place, continues to show just fantastic play.
And Sharp, of course, is not eliminated yet. He'll be going to the final best of one we'll have. Of course, after this, we will have the battle of the ZVZ with Hyuk and Calm to see who's going to be eliminated first. But
yeah.
I got to say, Stork really showing why he is just a god. He is just so dominant historically. And this ASL is proving to be no different.
Yeah, it was such nice play. I'm just looking forward to seeing where Stork can get to in this ASL. Can he get as deep as he did in KSL?
Let's go to that interview now with Stork and see how he's feeling now that he has managed to advance first out of this group. What is this, Group E? Right?
Probably.
Let's say it's Group B. Let's call it Group Z. We can call it whatever we want. Let's see how he's feeling now that he's managed to move on. Go ahead, Andy.
All
right, we have our first winner of Group B round of 24. It is Stork. Congratulations. Thank you.
자, 계속해서 이어나가고 있는
Now you are
송병구
moving
선수의
on
상승세인데요.
to the round of
이렇게
16.
ASL 시즌 8 역시 시작부터 굉장히
And
깔끔하게
having a great start in
진출
ASL season 8.
소감부터 들어볼게요.
How do you feel?
네, 최종전까지는 갈 줄 알았는데.
Well, I felt like I was going to go to the final match,
좋게 2승으로
but then I was really lucky,
만족스럽고요.
and then I got here as the first place, so I'm satisfied.
네, 그게 다예요.
Yeah, that's all I have to say.
첫 번째 김윤환 선수의 경기에 대해서
You did play against Calm in the first match, so let's talk about that. And you did go for the proxy gate, and Calm went for a 9-gun rush.
쉽지 않았어요. 굉장히 어려웠는데
And the first part of the game was quite hard, but you did rotate the Zealots very well, and you did end up getting the upper hand.
김윤환 선수가 송병구 선수의 심리를 좀 간파한 게 아닌가
And
생각이
Calm,
들었거든요.
you know, it felt like he knew what you were going to do.
이렇게
What do you
말하면
think?
이해가 잘 되실지 모르겠지만은 그 초반 빌드 선택하는 데 있어서
You know, in the early
안
phase,
보이는 심리전 싸움을 한
and you know,
10수
selecting the
정도
build,
서로 이렇게
and if it was like the whole early game, it was like a battle of wits.
이제 서로 이제 멀티버스란 맵에서 많이
And you know,
게임을 했었는데
we played a lot in multiverse.
부터 이제 뭐 각자의 빌드까지 연습 때 서로
And you know, we are just like
또 정말 연습하면서
thinking about respective builds.
결국엔 가위바위보 싸움에서 졌지만
And in the end, I lost the rock scissors paper, but I did win in terms of skills.
이 뗄래야 뗄 수 없는 두 선수의
Well, you guys
관계가
are
아닌가 하는
definitely
생각이
destined to be
드는데
together.
정말 엄청난 장면까지 또
And you know,
만들어내면서
there was some phenomenal moments in the game with the Cossairs.
장면까지 만들어내셨습니다. 이 정도면 김윤환 선수가 더 이상 도발하기가 좀
And
어렵지
it feels
않을까
like by
생각이
now,
들거든요.
Calm is pretty much unable to provoke you
잘
anymore.
맞아 떨어진 것 같고.
Well, the game did go lucky for me.
리플레이로 보고 오버 한 마리도 없는 거를
And
봤거든요.
then after watching the replay, I realized that he had no overloads left.
끝나고 이겼는데 다음 경기에서 더 시너지 효과를 낼 수 있을
And
정도의 경기력이었던
I felt like after the game I had more
이
confidence in the next one.
승자전에서 조기석 선수와의 경기여서는
You did
꽤나 장기전이
beat Sharp
나왔습니다.
in the winner's match,
힘싸움
and
끝에
it went
그래도 송병호
quite
선수가
long.
좀 승리를 가져갔는데
네.
조기석 선수의 탄탄한 수비 역시 좀
And Sharp
게임을 답답하게 하는데
had Sharp put a really formidable defense in the game.
사실
How was it?
승자전에서
In the winners match,
저그전을 할 줄 알고
I thought I would play.
안 했어요. 그래서
I thought I would play
기석이가
PVZ.
이기길래 그냥 뭘 해야 되겠다 그냥 즉흥적으로 했는데.
So everything I did in the game was
빌드
kind of
선택이
done
부렸는지
impromptu.
좀 상황이 안 좋아 보이더라고요. 초반 러시를 막았는데.
And in the early game, he did have a very hard time.
기석이가 좀 손이 안 풀리는 게 느껴졌어요.
And it felt like Sharp wasn't really warmed up.
그래서 그냥 가만히 있으니까 유리해져 있더라고요.
And you know, I wasn't doing much. And then by the time I realized I was in a better position.
제대로 풀렸을 거라는 생각이 듭니다.
네.
다음 16강 매치도 기대를 안 해볼 수가
You know,
없을
we
것
will definitely
같은데요.
look forward to your round
어떤
16
각오로 임하실 건가요?
performance.
일단 조지명식에 오랜만에 참여하게 돼서
And it's been a long time since I last went to the group nomination. And I hope I can make a great group and go on to the round of 4,
또
hopefully.
오늘 큰 소리로 응원해주신 팬분들
And
그리고
here
지켜보고
the
계신
fans have cheered for you in loud voices. So would you like to say any thanks to them?
이렇게 많은 분들이 와주실 줄
A lot
몰랐어요.
of the people are here today. I wasn't expecting it.
많은 분들이 와준 걸 보고 너무
And I'm really thankful to them. And you know, I was nervous at the same time. But thankfully, my result was good today. So I'm grateful.
스테이크까지 해줘가지고.
And my wife actually cooked me a steak today. So I think that helped as well. So thanks to my wife. And I want to go home quickly. Once again, congratulations on your win. Thank you.
자, 이렇게 해서 오늘의 첫
Cool.
번째
He wants to go home
진출자
quickly.
송병호
Sorry, Stork.
선수와
Too many
함께했습니다.
fans for that.
Yeah, he'll probably be pretty swamped with signings and photographs. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, that's ZVZ. Don't go away.
재미가 없으면 원래 TV가 아니지.
이번 선거 선생님 나 대신에 출마해요. 안산 대신에 나 이제 가만 안 있는다고.
칼자루 좀 만든 것도 자꾸 야. 정치는 야 배짱이야 배짱.
선거가 장난 같아요 지금?
선거 포기 안 하려니까 말리지 마시오.
We've been compromised. It puts every citizen of this planet at risk.
We are the men in black.
That was awesome!
Who's in charge here? Where is the air support?
Are you prepared to go all the way with this, Alexei?
Yes, I am prepared to go all the way.
StarLeague ASL Season 8 Expansion.
Welcome back. It's time for our Zerg versus Zerg. One of these two players will be eliminated from the ASL.
Yeah, they both definitely were outplayed by their opponents in that first series of the night. As far as these two going up against each other, ZVZ, do you have like a favorite?
I guess Calm.
Okay.
But what about you? I mean,
I feel like it's pretty even, but yeah, Calm by a little bit.
I think Calm is just more natural on stage. I think we saw even in that game where Hyuk was playing against Sharp, he lost his drone right at the start. Usually that's a sign of nerves.
That's a good point.
The little worker duels to watch how that goes is usually an indicator of how in the element the player really is.
Yeah, it's early micro things are definitely a big test of comfort in an important match.
Right. So we will be going to Neo Sylphid again. Expect anything, man. ZVZ usually a short matchup. One of these two players gets knocked out. The winner goes on to face off against Sharp.
Now playing in Neo Sylphid.
So we have Hyuk over on the left side. Calm up at the top. Of course, the winner of this plays Sharp for that spot in the round of 16. I would say probably, if we're looking at who has better potential to get out of the group, I'd lean towards Calm. Right?
Yeah. I mean, it just makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Calm's a great player, but I think, ASL is so big in Korea. I feel like it's such a factor as well of just, who's actually more confident and comfortable playing live,
That is, it's really, really true, because sometimes we have these amateurs that come up and they just play like garbage, and they're actually like the same MMR as the pros and like can beat them online. And
yeah, and it's just that this is such a big show. Like, just for all the shows that are actually going on in the country, this is like one of the biggest ones.
It's pretty big.
So you have these guys who are very natural, only because they've been playing for so long. I mean, some of these guys, almost all they know is pro matches and playing in front of live audiences. And these other guys, especially the younger ones, are a little bit less comfortable. By the way, this is 9-pool speed.
Yeah, that's right.
From
and
Hyuk.
Calm with the 12-pool. So
12
that should
pool
be good.
Basically answers, it mutes all the strength of the 9-pool.
Yeah. It's not what you want to run into. You're looking for a hatchery first when you go 9-pool. But it's not like a position that can't be played from by Hyuk.
No, I mean, you have to be pretty creative, but you can absolutely do it. It's just that in this situation, guys, basically, Calm has about 3 extra drones. Or 2 extra drones, actually, excuse me. And so, considering that Zerg vs. Zerg is a matchup that is so, you're limited on workers, it's hard to ever really get into a big macro game, ZVZ. The idea that both of your builds have the same ideas, except you have 2 more workers, it's huge.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, can you get that early Zergling advantage to do anything? Well, the pool's not that much later, so probably not. Makes it a little bit hard.
And the Lings are going to come across the map now. Now, he's racing towards a layer here. Hyuk is.
Yeah.
Now, note that the Lings from Calm are going to hatch as the Lings from Hyuk's are getting close to entering the natural.
This should make him hold pretty easily. You can see that he got speed instead of the layer. That's pretty normal. And when you're playing against this, like, basically what is happening is you have a slightly better economy than the 9-pooler.
Right.
And you're going to have more larvae. So very oftentimes this becomes, the 12-pooler putting on more pressure with the Zerglings, and the 9-pooler rushing up towards Spire. Now, we did see a game the other day that was almost opposite of that, where the more aggressive player actually just flooded Lings, which was, he caught him off guard. I believe it was Action versus Sulky, right?
Yeah, you're correct.
Where it was like, oh, wow, that's kind of a fresh outlook there. Kind of a mind game.
So 4 Lings are going to be hidden down here with the option to counterattack. And speaking of counterattacking, Calm is already moving across the map, so we may see those 4 Lings used pretty quickly here. Now, the entrance here is pretty tight. You can see you can basically clog this with a small number of Zerglings. Keep in mind, every Zergling's pretty important here. So.
Yeah. It's always funny watching people line up these Zerglings.
Yeah.
It's a skill you got to have.
Lings like nudging together like penguins in the Arctic.
Yeah.
So here come those Lings to counterattack. Now, Zergling speed just finishes.
Yeah, only 2 Lings left over here. A lot of times you counterattack with 2 Lings, not 4. It's 4 this time, so definitely Hyuk with some real chances. Okay, gonna run that in there, but the other 2 are gonna go to the natural. I like that.
Okay, now we want to see how many kills are actually gonna be pulled off here. Very quick reaction timing here from Calm, by the way. Oh my God.
Ooh.
He's so good.
Yeah, that
he
was
hasn't
really
lost
smooth.
any drones at all yet that I can see. Good control.
Yeah, Hyuk still doing okay. I think tactically he's playing a bit better, but Calm is microing better, controlling better.
So those Lings have finally come back.
Yeah. Look at that. Calm's going for such a macro play here, not really getting that aggression on.
No, I mean, he just has enough to not die to ground.
Yeah.
And then back at home, what, it's going to be 3 mutas coming out. I guess soon to be 2, excuse me. And yeah, I mean, I think he just, throws down about 4 spores.
Yeah.
And then it keeps mining gas, and I think eventually he's going to be able to match Hyuk here.
Certainly,
Now,
especially when he gets his second gas. It's just, you know, you're going to be able to get ahead at that point. It's just, can Hyuk do damage before then?
Okay, so the 2 mutas are coming across the map. Now, there's just not enough to do anything really here. And I think this game might slow down after these mutas come in and cannot do anything.
I oftentimes feel like in situations like this, if the 9-pool player is really good, they end up finding enough damage that it's still pretty even, right?
Yeah, I don't think this is going to work, right? He has to move away from that.
Yeah. Well, it forces a bunch of spores. I think the Spire just started, which is an important factor too, right? Because then you're going to be banking mutas for quite some time. When is Calm going to get that additional geyser, right? Because that's kind of like how you're trying to get ahead, is by ending up mining more gas because you have this better economy.
Okay, the Lings are coming up now at the natural.
Yeah, he's making a lot of Lings himself as well.
Can he try to break in here? Now, the Lings to Hyuk's, if he can target this right, and he actually hits Lings with those mutas, maybe actually Hyuk can break him. Oh, this is so smart. He's going to try to run through, but Calm's got such good blocking with his own Lings.
Yeah, that was so well done. The defense here of Calm is amazing.
That little tactic is one of the very strong moves for the player that has the mutas.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if you can get your Lings into the main, then your mutas can kill the Lings as they try to come back and save the try to fight the Zerglings that are already in the main. Then the Zerglings that you have that are in their main can kill off the spores, and then the mutas take out the main.
Yeah.
And it's basically GG from there.
Calm is playing some of the best defensive ZVZ that I've really seen. Like, this is so awesome how well he has blocked everything that Hyuk has tried to do here. He's really skirted the line so beautifully. Ooh, gets a drone right there.
Now, this is pretty big, considering that there was a little bit of a drone deficit early on there. Nicely done. Now the mutas are going to come in here, and actually that spore was pretty weakened up from earlier. I almost forgot about that. Remember I was saying there's no reason to do that. Well, if you have enough mutas, of course there is.
Yeah.
And you can take that out later on. And now the other spore's under attack.
Yeah, diving right upon it. Now mutas are starting to come out here for Calm. Is Calm going to lose too much, though, before they can help him?
I think he might, Artosis.
Maybe. Oh, my gosh. Is Hyuk going to do it?
He needs to get that spore. Meanwhile, Calm's Lings are going into the main.
Yeah, he has quite a few, but at the natural, he's losing that battle, running out to try to battle these Lings now. I don't think that's enough to do very much.
Okay, hold on. This, I think, is just enough to break him. I think Calm was playing an amazing game, but Hyuk really calculated this out perfectly.
He really hit that spore at just the right time. If he had given him any more time, he would have had a lot of mutas and Scourge.
Now, keep in mind that the Spire is in the natural, so he can still make anti-air. There's no tech that he can come in here and try to kill.
Calm in some serious trouble. Some of the Scourge have been hitting, though.
Yeah, even though they're... Oh, God.
One more hit on that
Yeah,
Muta.
careful, man. Woo. Oh, and he's going to make some more lings. He's going to do another run by here.
Okay.
There's actually no lings for Calm, right?
I don't think he has any,
Yeah. No, I think Hyuk's going to come in here with a killing blow.
Seems that way. He's got like one Muta.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah, starts going after the Spore and decides better of it. He's got some Mutas out now. I guess he can kill off these things.
What a great game this has been here.
Yeah.
I love ZVZ so much for this exact reason.
A good ZVZ is very good. A bad ZVZ, conversely, can be quite bad.
Yes. Every time he gets a drone kill, it's just going to get worse here for Calm. I mean, there's no reason to not keep sending lings in like this. I mean, what is there, like 4 drones total in this game for Calm? to the 7 for Hyuk. I mean,
I know his economy's just terrible comparatively.
Yeah.
I like how in StarCraft 1 ZVZ, you never really get to the economy that StarCraft 2 ZVZ starts at.
Yeah. StarCraft 2 ZVZ, you just end up with more workers right at the beginning of the game than you're ever going to have at a StarCraft 1 ZVZ. Okay, again, these lings are doing a great job pinning. Keep in mind, the drone count's so low, it's very hard to even get a Mutala Scout for Calm here.
Calm actually has more Mutas now.
Does he?
Yes.
Now, one thing that the lings are doing, though, because also, Hyuk doesn't have anti-air. Let's not forget that. There's no spores. So if there's a little bit of a risk here where if Hyuk were to fly across the map and try to do damage, and Calm went through the main and killed all the drones, there's nothing Hyuk can do.
That's very, very true.
It's one way this game could be turned completely on its head.
I think you're afraid here, though, possibly of a little counterattack. I want to see the exact Muta counts, because I believe Hyuk has 5 right now. I think there's 5 in Scourge for Calm at the moment. And his are a little bit higher health.
Well, Hyuk did the damage, but he decided to stay back a little bit here. I don't blame him.
Yeah.
I mean, one
what
thing
a
to notice,
recovery, right?
This is a great ZVZ.
Yeah.
I'm so happy with what we're seeing here. So what are the Muta counts at now?
Yeah, no, that's
Let's
what
go big
I'm
picture
really
here.
waiting for. I think what we're going to see, by the way.
Is that 2 there?
I think Calm is going to make like a ton of Scourge and just have Scourge chase Mutas.
Oh, I think you're right.
That feels like the best thing he could do.
It seems like that would be an efficient way to spend his money. If he had a ton of Scourge and the Mutas are having to shoot down the Scourge in defense, then maybe Calm's Mutalisks can come in and then kill every single drone, and then he can fly back out and rinse and repeat.
Yeah. Every Scourge actually really does count right now.
Yep. Oh,
I guess he supply blocked him.
Yeah.
You know, he has so much gas, he just spent a bunch of it, so he's going to have a lot of Scourge. I don't mind that so much. Okay, so right now, 8 Mutas against 6, but there's a lot more Scourge for Calm.
Okay, but if you can get these pairings correct.
Ooh!
Whoa, good snipe on the drones.
Yeah, good Mutalisk micro there as well from Calm.
He needs to use that flick micro. Oh my God!
Oh no!
That was the real story.
Yeah. We didn't even see it. Now all of his drones have gone down. I think Calm is just about out of here. He's got to win right now, right?
Yeah.
There's no real recovery here.
Well, how many drones are actually in this game? If we get a shot of the main, I think there's nothing, right?
Yeah.
I think there's literally no drones. Maybe there's some in eggs being made.
He has no income at the moment. Yeah, maybe a drone's about to hatch, but he has to go kill him. That's it. This is the final stand, but I believe he's down by 2 Mutas at the moment.
Yeah.
He's down by 1 Muta.
Nope. Now he's down by 2.
Yeah.
Is that 1 Muta got one shot in there?
Yeah,
okay,
that's it.
That should be it. Calm gonna fly in here with a few more Scourge, but this appears to math out in Hyuk's favor.
Yeah, it really does. Calm trying his best, 3 against 3, but higher health here for his opponent. And obviously he saw some production as well.
Wow, Hyuk with a masterful ZVZ wins that and will now get his rematch against Sharp.
Wow. Just really well done. I felt like the Calm was just defending so superbly, and then suddenly the jump on the Spore. What perfect timing there from Hyuk.
Well,
this is a real treat. I'm loving our games today. What the hell is Hyuk going to do against Sharp in game 2? I mean, he tried to be a little bit cheeky in the game match that started today off, and blindside him with.
I don't want to see any of this two-hatch lurker shenanigans anymore. To be honest, I think he's got to go in a mutalist play here against Sharp to try to get that spot in the round of 16.
I think so.
Very different map coming up though on Neo Ground Zero.
Okay, guys, we're going to break. When we come back, our last best of one, the rematch, Sharp versus Hyuk.
대전 경기 시작됐습니다. 위쪽 김태형이고요. 파란색이 임진묵 선수예요. 추가 팩토리 올라가요. 임진묵 투팩입니다.
완벽한 올인이 되거든요.
그렇죠. 앞바닥을 좀 돌리고 있는 김태형 선수고요.
네. 베럭스가 또 바로 와서 아래쪽으로 빠져나가는 이런 상황이기 때문에 상대방의 투팩 의도 알았고 스타포트까지는 못 올라가지만
들어가는데요. 길막.
자, 본진 쪽에서
일단 드랍 대비에 신경 쓰느라 병력들이 빠져 있었거든요.
그렇죠. 그 사이에 앞마당 쪽에 있는 일군을 한 번은 쫓아냈습니다.
이거 실수예요. 각을 잘못 쟀어요.
네.
못 잡았죠?
네, 먼저 잡았어야 됐거든요. 배로까지 있어서.
네.
자, 그랬는데 저 탱크도 상대 탱크를 최대한 줄여야 되는데 그것도 좀 쉽지가 않습니다. 본진 또 드랍 대비까지 어느 정도 해놓네요.
네. 어떻게든 피해를 주기 위해서 드랍을 준비하는데 기다리고 있죠?
알고 있었다는 듯 상대가 스타포트를 갖고 있고 지금 정면 싸움에서 밀렸기 때문에 드랍십을 쓸 거다라는 것을 예측을 했다는 얘기거든요.
그 차이가 좀 많이 벌어지고 있는 상황이거든요.
네.
비비면서 이 병력 좀 끊어내야 되는데 여기 5기, 여긴 1기.
오지 말라고 뭐 애원을 해도 김태형 선수가 아까 이전 자신의 첫 번째 경기에서 시간을 줬다가 경기 자체가 좀 불리하게 돌아가면서 경기를 내주고 말았거든요.
그렇죠.
이번 경기에서는 시간 절대 안 줄 겁니다.
탱크의 숫자가 한계가 있다 보니까 이미 탱크 싸움에서 손해를 많이 봤던 입장에서는 마음이 힘들게 됐고요.
그렇죠. 드랍시까지 정리가 되면서 제공권, 시장 경제 전부 다 지금 밀리고 있어요. 임진묵 선수.
이제는 여파가 본인에게 미치는 상황이 돼버리고 말았어요. 여기까지 와서 공격을 멈추다
CJ 최종전 경기 시작됐습니다. 저그 김민철 선수예요. 대각선은요 김태형 선수입니다. 스파이어 올라가고 앞마당에 2기. 자, 양쪽으로 나뉘어져서 하나.
이게 유인하는 거거든요. 그래서 중간 다리 역할을 해주는 시에 머린들 배치시켜 놓고
저글링들 또 안쪽으로 숨어서 2기 들어갔기 때문에 테란의 베럭스 상황 그다음에 빌드 상황을 볼 수 있죠.
미라는 팬들 좀 돌아가면서 계속 견제를 하고 있습니다. 김민철 날카롭게 신경 거슬리게 만들어주고 있고요. 뮤탈 라운드 타임 봤어요. 반육편육들은 입구 쪽으로 나와 있어요. 조합 5개입니다.
뭐 점사를 노려보고 있는 것 같은데 말이죠.
터렛.
자, 터렛 깨는데 저글링 2기가 또 조력자 역할을 해줬습니다.
터렛 2군데 지금 깨졌고 뮤탈리스크는 꾸준히 계속 나옵니다. 짜내요 김민철.
뭔가 이제 뮤탈리스크를 잡아내거나 아니면 쫓아낼 수 있는 상황이 된 상태에서 지금은 뛰쳐나오게 되면은 버티기가 좀 힘드니까 계속 터렛 둘.
지금 공일업이 완료가 됐고
베럭스 주변에 2개의 터렛을 또 깼기 때문에
안정감 있게 막고 있다라고는 절대 볼 수 없습니다. 머린들의 위치가 없는 지역을 콕 찍어가면서 터렛을 각기격파를 잘 시켜주고 있다 보니까
터렛에 의존하면서 투베럭 태클을 선택을 했기 때문에 투베럭에서 만약에 머린 숫자가 줄어버리게 되면 이후에 뮤탈리스크를 그냥 물리적으로 이기기가 좀 어려워요. 아직 태크가 다 완성된 건 아니거든요.
그렇죠. 추가 병력 나오는 족족 뮤탈리스크도 숫자를 줄이고 있고요.
저울링 앞마당 쪽에 이러면서 또 찔러 넣어서 터렛 깰 수 있겠고 머린 숫자가 계속 줄고 있습니다. 터렛이 하나예요.
이거 끊겨요.
투베럭 상태에서 스킬을 올렸다고 하지만 코리아 스타포트가 전혀 쓸모가 없지 않습니까?
그렇죠.
장악해버리죠.
이렇게 갈 거면은 그래서 3베럭스도 아니고 2베럭스에서 갈 거면은 이게 터렛을 더 둘렀어야 되거든요. 최소 3개, 많으면 4개까지 뛰었어야 되는데 어느 정도 적당히 수비하다가 배슬만 빨리 뽑아야지 머릿속으로 너무 빠르게 그렸었던 것 같습니다.
네, 뮤탈리스크 들어가서 초타를 시켜놓습니다. 네. 페럭스까지 장악당하면서 이제 싸울 수 있는 힘을 일으켜내는 김태형 선수예요.
대공이 없어요, 이렇게 되면.
네. 매서운 공격, 날카로운 공격으로 김태형 선수를 잡아내면서 16강에 올라가는 선수 김민철입니다.
AfreecaTV ASL Season 8 Expansion.
What's up?
Yeah. It is time for our last match of the night. It's going to be Sharp, Terran Hope here, going up against Hyuk, who, just beat Calm, but did lose to Sharp earlier on. Of course, the maps are drastically different.
Yes.
Ground Zero is as different as from Multiverse as you can get.
Now, let's remember that Hyuk did it's not a bad build, but it didn't work out for him at all, and it put him in a terrible spot in the mid game. But he tried to do this Hydra rush into Lurker rush.
Yeah.
And honestly, Sharp handled it basically perfectly, and then it was pretty abysmal from there. What is Hyuk going to do this time around? And what does Hyuk's games look like against Sharp if he plays a more standard type?
Well, I guess the question is how many hatches does he want to open with? How aggressive is he going to be? I imagine it's going to be 2 hatchery play.
Yeah.
Maybe if they're vertical spawns, he'll go for like a very aggressive Mutalisk play. But a lot of this matters on how Sharp wants to open as well.
Our game is ready. The rematch, Sharp vs. Hyuk, starts now.
Now playing in Neo Ground Zero.
Sharp in the top right. And Hyuk in the top left. So I think this is a pretty even spawn overall. I guess the interesting thing about TVZ, right, is first off, Zerg has to basically choose how many hatcheries they want to go 2 or 3 before any scouting gets done, and Terran has to choose a gas build or a non-gas build before any scouting gets done, right?
Yeah.
So those are the 2 things, and then from those 2 choices, there's a huge amount of interactions that change what you're going to do, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the point where when we sit here at the beginning of the game, you almost just have to wait and see. It's like, does Sharp get a gas? And does Hyuk get a gas, basically, right? Or a third hatch.
Right.
So we wait for that.
I am looking forward to seeing how this is going to continue on here with these 2. I think Sharp is obviously supposed to win this, but, man, in a best of 1, Hyuk can absolutely...
Yes. Hyuk is a very good
off.
Zerg player, man. He plays in everything. I mean, if you're playing KCM regularly, it means you're one of the best of your race.
That's right.
And, he's all over the place. The thing is, he is pretty aggressive. And I don't know. I feel like you want to play not that aggressively against Sharp. I remember when KSL Finals, the Sharp vs. Sulky was coming up, and I was just like, yeah, Sulky's going to bash him because Sulky is generally a slightly more defensive, longer game player, and I feel like that's a little bit better against Sharp than trying to get him early.
So we have the racks and the gas coming down. And it's going to be 2 hatch and a gas here.
Yeah.
So again, we want to watch and see if there's anything else crazy that is going to be tried out here, but I think, we'll have to wait and see. There's not much that we can remark on right now, guys. Sorry. It's just
everything looks pretty normal. This is kind of what is to be expected here. We'll see if Sharp wants to go into the Goliath build or he wants to go for the 1-1-1. I think it's going to be the Goliath build, to be honest.
Yeah, this is a very popular build right now in the current meta.
It is. Everyone's doing Goliath builds. It's just kind of solid and sturdy against some of this 2 hatchery play, especially, I feel. Because you can hit that critical mass, you can take it slow, you can take it a little bit faster. It doesn't really die to anything early on.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go for a straight up 1-1-1 and they went for a very fast 2 hatch play, it can get a little bit tricky, right? It's like, are you going into Wraiths? How good is your Wraith micro? Do they get quick Overlord speed, or are they going to try to bust you with Hydras? You know, that. Whereas with the Goliath play, it's more like herpy derp. I make Goliaths.
Herpy derp.
Herpy derp. It's very easy, right? You make the turrets on time. You know what the time is when you scout, and then you make Goliaths.
It's almost a pacing thing too.
Yeah,
the Zerg has to somehow win this race. I mean, like, and get a lead somehow, and they're kind of fighting against everything. I mean, we even saw that one of the few builds you can do to try to break in and do a lot of damage, which was that Lurker Rush. I mean, it was handled pretty easily.
Yeah.
And why not do a build like this? I mean, keep yourself safe from everything else.
Well, Vulture on the way, so that'll come over and make sure that Zerglings don't just flood or anything.
Right.
We haven't seen Hyuk throw down a creep colony yet, which is definitely something he needs to do.
Okay, one Marine being chased by those Lings.
Yeah.
Still waiting for that Vulture to come out here. It should be looping around now. There it is.
Yeah, nice micro there by Sharp.
And this SCV is just making sure there's no other Lings running out. There's the Spire going down.
We haven't seen Sharp's base yet, so we don't know 100%, but I don't see a starport being made. Oop. So this does look like it is, you know, a Goliath play. Should be.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just assuming it is until we see otherwise.
Yeah, definitely.
There's that armory coming down.
He's going to have to throw down the eBay pretty soon, too. But the Vultures actually have to stay back a little bit because the SCV went down, and the Vultures were not in front of the base, so you don't know if there's Lings on the map. Now, you could theoretically send a Vulture over, but you don't have speed on them. It's better to just keep all three in front of your base so you don't die.
Yeah, otherwise that one can get surrounded, then the next one comes in and surrounds that.
Yeah. And when it's lots of Speedlings, slow Vultures, like, they kind of do it, but they kind of don't. It's like both yes and no. You know what I mean?
Yes, I know what you mean, Jelly Bean. Okay, so the Spire's close to completion. Hyuk will have it banked up a little bit over 500 gas and then start making a massive amount of Mutalisks. Here's that SCV coming here to check. Just confirm. You're trying to get a read. And this eBay, I think, is going to be a pretty tightly timed thing here.
Yeah, yeah. But I think it's exactly perfectly timed, including muted travel distance. Like, the turret should be finishing as the mutas get there, I believe. So, you know, that's exactly what you want to do with this build. If you can get your turrets at the last possible second, and your Goliaths don't get overrun, then suddenly, yeah, we got a game. So see the turrets getting started, the mutas are about to hatch.
And this is all going to come down to control here. You know, sometimes, you know, with infantry, it's a little bit trickier to control, right? Because if they get the right shots off, they can spray down your brains right away. Goliaths are sort of the epitome of Terran anti-air, even more so than the Valkyrie, really. But if you can come in there, you crack a turret down or two, you know, the Goliaths are also not that fast. Maybe he can do enough damage here.
Yeah, if you don't make enough turrets and they kill your Goliaths and get on top of your factories, that's like a way that the game absolutely can end.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to be so
We've also seen sometimes players mass up Lings as they do this. So they'll draw them into the main, the Lings will run in there and get a surround on that. I don't know if it's going to happen this time.
Yeah.
Obviously, with the bunker and the two Vultures, that's not a place you want to stay and fight with your Lings. But again, if you can run by, you can go quite nicely.
Pretty nice so far here. Goliath range probably not quite done, but definitely needs to get that. Oh, okay, it is finished. Gets down here, pushes him back.
Yeah. More and more Goliaths coming out now.
Notice how he keeps making turrets. This is pretty important.
Okay, he's going to try to fly through. Now, this is a little bit risky. One muta goes down. He's eating a lot of Goliath shots here.
Well, he doesn't actually do as much as he was looking for there, I think.
Yeah, he lost about 3 mutas in that process.
Yeah, it wasn't quite worth the damage that he did. Like, he killed a decent amount of SCVs at the natural at first, so he was just looking to add on to that. If you can get that SCV count really low, it's going to, like, slow factory adds and things like that.
Right.
Which really slows down move-out times for the mech player as well. But so far, I mean, it seems to me to be a pretty even game.
Yeah, I mean, he did get some decent SCV kills there.
Yeah.
So, what is the next tech here? Oh, good catch here. Yeah. See, sharp. That's so sharp.
Oh! He almost missed.
Yeah.
Woo. Okay, so, well, for Sharp, you just keep making units. You just keep making Goliaths. You want to get up to 5 factories on your 2 bases. He should have +1 armor on the way right now.
You're eventually going to throw some tanks in here, too.
Yeah, like when you're just about to push, that's generally when you'll add tanks. They're a little bit gas heavy right now. You don't want to make them unless either they're going Hydras or you're about to push, because you don't really need that many. You need enough Goliaths to really punish the Mutas, and then the tank to like break Sunkens or whatever, or Hydras that are just starting to be produced.
Okay. It's sort of this funny arms race that you have in this matchup where, you know, one guy's going for mutas. And you would think Goliaths counter mutas, but if you have enough mutas, mutas can kind of beat almost anything that's not splash.
Yes, that's a good way to put it.
And so, if you, in this arms race, the Zerg's going to be getting air armor. We're now finally getting to the moment where you can start to incorporate some ground units.
Yeah.
And you sort of have both sides powering up here. Now, are Hydras really actually better than making a bunch of Lings?
The Lings eventually will just evaporate.
Okay.
Until, like, if you get really late game, then Lings become very good when you have, like, 8 hatchery upgraded speedlings with Adrenal going at your opponent.
Right.
Then they become pretty good.
Yeah.
Coming from all these angles all the time. But, yeah, in general, the Hydras are going to kind of stay alive a bit longer. Kind of interesting to note that he actually got the attack upgrade. Some Terrans do that, I think most with the Goliath build, like the armor, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll wait and see what Hyuk wants to do from here. It seems like he's very focused on the mutas.
Right.
And the fact that he got armor against attack, and he's just massing those right now, there could be potential here for just, wow, that thing is freaking out. For just jumping on the Goliaths when they come out.
Yeah.
This actually looks to me right now, the way that this game is going, the way that these guys play, I wouldn't be surprised if Hyuk can take this game.
It seems like you're right. Like he might just have enough. And it's one of the reasons why Mech is always the off-brand Terran choice. You know what I'm saying? Historically, it's like, okay, you can do mech, and it's very hard to pull off, but a lot of times these other bio builds are a little bit more robust early on.
Yeah,
Because if you notice, the mech player cannot assert himself in any way on the map right now.
Yeah.
He's basically just isolated himself. He's continuing to power up. But we're going to have to see how this push goes, because if Zerg smashes the push, the game's over. Now, there's a vessel coming out here with Irradiate, so we also want to watch and see where is that Irradiate going to come.
If he actually gets Irradiate, then that can help him to definitely have a much better chance of taking this game. But on 2 gases, going Goliaths and Irradiate is pretty tough.
Yeah. Also, I mean, there's a chance that if he just grabs the... Oh, my God. No. No. Okay. Actually, not as bad as I thought.
What is he doing? Why is he going... I'm really surprised, but...
I actually don't even understand what I'm seeing here. Does he just have enough or something?
I'm
surprised he's attacking on Goliaths, on turrets, over a bunker.
I don't think so, though.
I don't know. Hold on, guys. It looks like he's winning this fight, Artosis.
Well, there's some turrets still to get through.
Yeah.
And the armor upgrade is really doing a lot of work for him
This
right now,
must have
no
been
doubt.
timed out right when the armor upgrade finished. If he makes this work, this makes it look like you just should never do this build ever. Okay, so the vessel's out. Now, Irradiate, I think, is done, but he doesn't have the energy for it.
He's getting it right now, actually. Irradiate's not done.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. It is blinking.
But yeah, you're right. When the vessel first pops, you definitely don't have energy. Comes out with like 63 or something like that.
I didn't see that it was still blinking. I thought it was actually done, but more Lings are going to come, and I think he just occupies... Ouch. I think he just occupies the main with this. Am I wrong?
Well, when their Radiate comes out, then these mutas are actually going to be clean. Like, there's not that many left here. And he's built enough turrets.
He did make that Goliath count drop there.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, he did. But I think in this situation right now, because Sharp's economy didn't get hurt there, and Hyuk's economy hasn't grown, I actually think that Sharp has now taken the lead here.
Yeah, especially with these Vultures back here. Now, one thing I want to point out, though, he can actually start to make Hydras now, and maybe with a Hydra Muta attack at the front he gets in. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, if he can split really well, yeah, that's a mistake right there. If he can split like really well with his mutas so that the Radiate does not massacre everything, which it feels like it's going to, maybe a slight tech switch is going to help. Because look, this is only 4 facts. Okay?
Right.
I don't even know if Sharp has siege mode.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I hadn't actually thought of that.
When you do this build, you almost never have scanners, so he doesn't actually know that there are Hydras being made, right? So this Goliath-based army, like this is an anti-muta army he's moving out with, but if the tech switch is completely into Hydra, then yeah, that can definitely catch him off guard.
Okay, so here come those Hydras now.
Oh, if he can catch that group of Goliaths.
Would be cash money.
Oh my god.
Okay, here we go. The Hydras are coming out. Keep in mind that they basically negate the mines because they can usually shoot them down as they're popping up. Oh my god, or not.
God.
Not in that case, wow.
That mine, so hero.
Okay, more Hydras should be coming forward now. He needs an Overlord. I guess he doesn't have Overlord speed yet. You know, income is kind of tight in this moment.
Oh, definitely. Well, he's chosen these very aggressive strategies as well. Ooh, there's 2-1 on this mech right now. That's a pretty big deal.
I gotta say, man, Sharp playing like we always love to see. He's just squeezing out all this extra damage, getting drones here and there. You know, Hyuk is playing a pretty tight TVZ here.
Yeah, no, I was going to say he is literally squeezing this game out right now. This felt like it could have been a Hyuk victory for sure.
Yeah.
But this is like when I'm trying to get rid of a tube of toothpaste and my mom would be like, this is a week left of toothpaste in this.
That's right, we can roll it up.
Oh yeah, you squeeze this.
Mm-hmm.
Get your cookie dough roller. Get that toothpaste out of there. That's what he's doing with the damage, with staying alive and everything.
Hold on.
It's ridiculous.
One of these mines, if it successfully hits the Hydras, is going to drop this number down hugely. By the way, the Queen's Nest is coming up here as well, so Hive Tech is going to be an option soon. Terran's still on 2 bases. The main is almost mined out.
It's rough. He has to get another base. He has another command center at least being made in his main.
I cannot believe how many times he gets
I know, right?
The Vulture's in there. Do we have siege mode yet? Yeah. Oh yeah, we do. Okay.
So he's on 5 fact. He's getting a really reasonable army. He does have a Radiate.
But eventually Terran has to move out. And if if Zerg has the muscle and can smash the army, Terran basically loses.
Mm-hmm.
Zerg's the one that has map
Sharp
control.
loses one more army, the game's over.
Yeah. And again, the main is very close to being mined out. You see another macro hatch kicking in here. And we have 2 queens. Now, is that for Broodling?
Like, normally you get Broodling against mech. So, basically, if Sharp turtles and he went Broodling, it's amazing. If he attacks and he goes in Snare, that's pretty good. But I think with that many queens, it's pretty clearly Broodling.
And Snare slows down fire rate, right?
For some units.
Does it slow down fire rate for Goliaths?
Spell. I actually don't know the answer to that. It slows down Marine fire rate.
Because if it slows down Goliath fire rate, then it's amazing in this moment. I actually just don't know.
There's a list on Liquipedia about what it slows down. I can't remember off the top of my head. I just know Marines. I don't go mech that often.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to pull off.
Well,
and then when you try to go back to going bio, you're like, what's going on here?
Well, that's why you mentioned, right, that like stability, that's in bio play.
Right.
But mech builds, if you're at the cutting edge of mech builds, they're really strong, you know? But then counterplay comes in. Oh, he spotted the queen?
Yeah, he saw at least one.
It's important. So Sharp does he has a pretty decent army right now.
Okay, so the push is coming. There's the Irradiate. He needs to pull, he needs to pull, he needs to pull. Pull, 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 pull.
Whoa! That Irradiate was so much damage.
Okay, that was as much as you could ever ask for. That's going to kill every Muta. Now, the question is, well, actually, the question is, where are those queens?
Well, they don't have the energy yet anyways.
Well, the problem is these are attacking in a line.
Oh, my God.
I think that there was a possibility that this would have worked much better, but the attack was so poorly executed by Hyuk.
Yeah, it was...
Oh, he's going to push up into the natural. I really thought he'd just go to the... he pushes into the third. I thought he'd go into the natural for an easier kill here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think both ways he wins, but this is going to buy time. Like, he'll sub his natural main when Broodling is ready. Right?
Another Irradiate's going to come in here, hitting one of those queens.
Again, Broodling is a long ways away. And so it's just, we're still kind of waiting. Now, if he Broodling's down all these tanks, you know what? Maybe Hydras can win the fight at the end of the day.
He already lost so much in here, though. Everything going wrong, man.
The Queens were too late, I think.
Well, it was interesting that he even tried the Queens because Sharp was kind of having his back up against the wall.
I almost wonder if he should have not gone for the Queens at all and just tried to get a serious ground army and just actually win the fight.
Because all he needed to do was kill the army one time. It was like he was preparing for a very late game.
Yeah.
Where Sharp was almost forced to get out there and do something.
What did he just do?
Oh, I don't know.
I just was looking away. That's a fish. What?
Did he just?
Of course.
Hit
Of course
Hyuk
it's
with
a fish. Yeah. All right. Well, Sharp did it again. I got to say, Hyuk looks like a good player. I think he's going to need a few more tournaments before he can really deliver, though. That was, I think you're right when you said, you know, the Queens are not a bad idea, but it's almost like you're playing, expecting for the game to go on for a long time. Where
yeah. Well, it takes forever for Broodling to come online, and then if the Queen doesn't hit 2 Broodlings, it probably wasn't worth it. So it's a very long-term unit.
Yeah, yeah, well said. Yeah, if the Broodling spell is not cast and gets the kill, it basically was a huge waste of money.
Yeah.
So, Sharp has gone down. We're going to have an interview with him and see how he's feeling. Probably pretty happy now that he's managed to go to the next phase. Andy, go ahead.
Sharp does win the second game against Hyuk, and he moves on to the round of 16.
조기석 선수와 함께하겠습니다. 축하드립니다.
Congratulations. Thank you.
와, 경기 내내 이렇게 팬분들의 뜨거운
games were amazing, and the fans were amazing as well.
팬들의 좀 응원의 보답이라도 하듯이
And it felt like you responded to the fans' cheer as you put on a phenomenal performance today.
네.
팬분이 직접 저에게 이제 선물을 해주셨어요.
One fan actually gave me a present,
제가 꼭 해야겠다는.
and I felt like I needed to win this one.
이기고 원래 이기고 하고 싶었는데 승자전에서 이기고 싶었는데
But
못해가지고.
you know, I did want to win the winners, but I had to go through the final match.
또 이렇게 팬이 선물로 보내주신 인형으로도
You did pull off a ceremony with the fans present, and you move on to the round of 16. And overall, were you satisfied with today's match?
다 쟁쟁한 선수들이고.
Well, all the players today were phenomenal, and they're stellar players. It was hard,
긴장도 많이 되고.
and I was quite nervous as well.
뭔가 어려웠던 것 같아요.
And today, overall, it was kind of arduous matches overall.
평소에 오늘 저그 박재혁 선수를 2번
And
잡고
you
이렇게
did playing against Hyuk twice and did win twice.
저그전은 좀 바이오닉 병력으로
And
확실하게
normally you tend to go bionic in the TVZ matchup. And today you did pull off a solid mechanic army today.
바뀐 것 같거든요.
It feels like your TVZ has changed.
3회 처리를 안 하고 2회 처리만 하니까.
Normally, the recent meta, the Zerg players are going for the 2 hatchery. So I had to customize my build as well.
나도 메카닉 해가지고.
And then I decided to go for the mechanic and shake my opponent left and right.
이제 좀 이번에는 메카닉으로.
And this time I did pull off a mechanic.
자, 다른 상대 선수들의 입장에서는 조기석 선수가
From the
잘하는
other
플레이들이
player's perspective, you're a fearsome player and you're very hard to deal against.
강해지는 모습의 조기석 선수인데
And Sharp, you just get stronger and stronger.
송병구 선수에게 패배했을 때
And you did lose to Stork, and you looked very disappointed. And you were holding your ground, and you're doing good, but you did lose in the end.
제가 똑같은 실수를 또 해버렸어요.
I made the same mistake in that game. I shouldn't have went for the attack. It wasn't timing. But then I overcommitted, and there was a serious mistake, and there was highly instrumental to my loss. But in the end, you did gain the win and move on to the round of 16. And I'm guessing a lot of people helped you in the scrims. Well, yes, Soma helped me, and all the bunch of other pro players, they helped me in the scrims. And also Shine. So I want to mad props to them. And there's a fan, and his birthday is tomorrow. He's come here as well. So I want to congratulate him for his birthday. And Sharp, you always have this really nice thing for your fans. And do you want to say anything else to your rest of the fans? I'm really happy whenever they come down to the venue.
기쁘고 감동인데
And it's
많이
so,
와주셔서 너무 다시
heart
한번
moving.
감사드리고
I
앞으로도
want to say thank you to them.
제가 열심히 또 준비해가지고
And from now on, I'll
멋진 경기라고
prepare hard
끝내도록
and put on a stellar
네,
performance in
16강
the future.
경기도 멋진 모습 기대하겠습니다. 다시 한번 축하드립니다.
Congratulations. Thank you.
감사합니다.
자, 이렇게
All right.
2조에서 마지막 16강에
Looking forward
합류한
to seeing
조기석 선수와
Sharp
함께했습니다.
continue to improve and dominate here at the ASL. He's one of my favorite players to cast.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun, no doubt about it. But it was pretty close there at the end. I really feel like Hyuk could have ended up winning. The big story today, though, Stork. He definitely outplayed everybody.
Yeah, no, he's a beast.
Feels right.
I really want to see Stork continue to play on, and maybe he will start to dominate like he did in the past. I mean, he did great in KSL, but if he can keep this up, I'm loving the mixture of the new top-tier players and the old gods coming together and duking it out.
Totally.
And I want to see Stork as part of that story.
Yeah, I want to see that very, very badly. Look at that. Right now, look at this lineup. I'm getting the sickest chills. We have, like, all the best Protosses and Terrans.
Yeah.
Except, well, we still have Light coming up to play. Light qualifies? That's
I
the
think
5
he
best
might.
Terrans in the world, basically.
I think he might. Woo. So, Tuesday, and again, guys, it's 2 hours earlier than when we normally start. It'll be Best versus JYJ, Light versus Miso.
It's a great group.
And that's going to be 5 p.m. KST. Yes. So, again, 2 hours earlier than we normally start. And after that is done, we will have the group selection.
Yeah, that's right.
Thing.
Yes.
As they call it.
Now, you and I won't be there for that. We are going to China.
But we'll be there in spirit.
Yeah. And we'll have a couple people filling. Cadenzi and Creighton
That's
are
right.
going to be doing ASL for that day.
I'm sure they're going to do a great job. We look forward to that. Thank you guys for covering for us while we're gone.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Fun day. Good stuff. Looking forward to seeing that last group, maybe the most fun group that there is in this round of 24. And then the group selection, who knows what we're going to get there.
Oh, it's going to be good. Yeah. We have so many good players for this season of ASL. And it's so cool to see StarCraft 1 continue to blossom as a game.
Yeah.
I mean, people are still figuring stuff out.
The meta
is still
shifting
changing
faster than ever.
It's crazy,
actually,
yeah.
It's wild.
It's something else.
Yeah.
Life is good.
It's a good time to be
It's a good time to be a StarCraft person.
Yeah. I used to always think that I should have been born in the Middle Ages so I could have been a knight and had a sword and ride a horse and stuff.
Yeah,
but
I thought about that too. This is a little bit better,
It is.
I would say.
Yeah.
If you are in the studio right now, hang on to your ticket. We're giving away a photo.
No,
a
fan.
A fan.
An ASL fan.
And a scarf?
No, that's a GSL thing. Oh,
a Toyota Camry. We're giving away
it's
a
mouse pad, it's a fan, and it's something else.
Yeah.
And
a uniform.
A uniform.
I'm thinking of our other show, the giveaways there. That's where you get the Toyota Camry.
Yeah.
No, but definitely stay there. Some cool collectible items. They'll be announcing that just as the Korean commentators close out the show. Or after that, actually.
Yes, after that. So, it's been a great day. I think that the two favorites did end up making it through, which is always nice. That round of 16 is shaping up beautifully. 2 more players going to join it. Yeah, nothing else to say.
Nothing else to say
there. See you later,
there.
Tasteless.
I'm out of here.
You stay here.
I have to stay here until I'm told I can go. I've waited my whole life to have independence and go where I want to go and do what I want to do, but
none
here
of us
in the
are
ASL,
in charge of our own lives.
I have to wait. I have to wait. I have to
Free
wait
will
for Mom
doesn't
to tell
exist
me
anyways, right?
That's
so,
true.
Whatever.
But listen to that music. We got to go. Thank you for joining us at the ASL. Have a good morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you are. We'll see you guys again soon. Bye-bye.